Okie dokie. Welcome, one and all. So, to another tale from a savage world. Yes. So, hey, we've got one person who, by the sounds of things, is a newbie when it comes to
Yeah.
Magic Cards, which is fine. And obviously, we've also got someone else who's a newbie to Savage Worlds, but that's all fine. Savage Worlds is a really fast.
I'm actually not a newbie to Savage Worlds.
No, you're the other way around. Don't worry, we got one of each.
Yep.
So, just a quick level of overview for Savage Worlds for I've forgotten who's playing what. We'll worry about that in a second. Basically, Savage Worlds uses a system where your stats are based on dice. So basically, you've got some attributes along the top: your agility, your smarts, your spirit, your strength, and your vigor. And in the current edition of Savage Worlds, the best thing I can say is you'll use those like saving throws, to use D&D parlance. Anytime you're making attribute checks, it's usually to avoid something. Most of the time, you'll be using your skills, and your skills will be expressed in dice from a D4 to a D12, with possibly up to a D12 +2 or even +3 if you're really good at it and you're human. But and basically the idea
testing.
Yep.
Hold on. No, I was trying to roll something when I test. Obviously, I didn't do so.
That's good. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Okay.
So
does it automatically do explosions, or?
Yes, it does.
It does. Okay. Because I thought I had a 4 on that and it didn't explode. So.
It depends. So basically, yeah, when you roll a skill, normally you just need a 4 or better to succeed. If you exceed the target number, which is usually a 4 by 4 or more, you get what's known as a raise. So all good stuff, but we'll go over most of it as the game goes on. The other thing you'll notice is when you roll a dice, as you'll also get an extra 6-sided dice that's rolls as well. And basically what happens is it will choose the best of the 2 dice that you roll, unless you roll snake eyes, in which case it's a critical failure, and I get to do nasty things to your character. That's pretty much a basic level, but we'll go over it.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it exploded.
Yep. So, okay, where are we? Where are we?
Oh, letting the bennies flow.
Have you not got bennies? Hang on, I need to set up let's reset your bennies. There's some bennies. Okay, so the question, in answer to the question, where are we? The answer is you're in Greenfield, Colorado in 1950.
1950 or 1915?
1950 something. We don't know. We doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking post World War II. I think someone.
Okay.
I think one of your characters may have fought in the Korean War, so that probably makes it late 50s, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the characters is a vet from the Korean War, so we're saying it's the 1950s. Greenfield, Colorado is a small agricultural community about 2 hours southwest of Denver. Greenfield only has a few hundred residents, most of whom make their living supporting the area's agriculture. Farmers and ranchers from the surrounding region regularly visit town to obtain supplies. So you get the idea. It's very much small town USA. The village's downtown is crowded around its one traffic light. The centre of town includes a few shops, a diner, a bar, a police station, and a chapel. The police station also serves as city hall and the post office, making use of the meeting room in the basement. There's a sprawling feed and supply store with associated stock yards located a few miles away from the main part of town. And there's only a few homes located in the central part of Greenfield. The locals enjoy basically like their small town, and they're very proud of their farming heritage. There's no hotel proper in this town at all, which is why you, as visitors to Greenfield, Colorado, are basically going to be renting spare rooms from a local or setting up camp out of town. Now, of course, the reason you're all there, well, I think what we should read is probably let the person who's behind why you're all here explain that. And I do believe that is Dr. Winston Carmichael. So if you'd like to introduce yourself and also explain why you brought this group of individuals to Greenfield, Colorado. On your notes, if you haven't read.
Yes. I did. I'm looking at them now. Okay, so my name's Mark Mack, and I am playing Dr. Winston Carmichael. Looks like I've been received a request to investigate signs of wolf activity up here in Greenfield, and it's curious because the species was believed to be extinct, and so I am hoping to confirm the reemergence of the gray wolf in this area of Colorado. And so I have assembled this team. And there's that. I'll let you guys kind of tell yourselves, I'm not going to read your pieces here, but there you go.
Well, indeed, because obviously how you feel of the other players is obviously completely unknown to you. So obviously part of your team is Kurt Manning, your current grad student. So Kurt, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brian. I'm playing Kurt Manning. Kurt is a graduate student studying under his mentor, Dr. Winston Carmichael. I am not only a scholarly student, also a bit of an outdoorsman, so I'm really excited to be able to study the population growth of prey animals, particularly these wolves. Kind of an all-American, very alert, brave, and somewhat agile. However, I'm very confident, almost overconfident in my abilities, especially my decisions, so I tend to be quite stubborn, even in the face of evidence to the contrary.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Also, Dr. Carmichael brought Nick Stebler as his field technician. Nick?
Yes, he did. So, Nick, my character is Nick Stebler. He is a war veteran with a limp because he took a shrapnel to the knee, which took off his bottom half of his leg. And he's a tech guy. He repairs stuff, and he's been working with Dr. Carmichael for a decade.
Indeed. Nick also brought along Bob Platt. Nick asked to bring Bob Platt along. So Dr. Carmichael and Bob probably haven't met before. So Bob probably does need to introduce himself to the rest of the group, because I think you're the new person.
Greetings all. I'm Winch. I'm playing the role of Bob Platt, who's kind of between jobs, working as a handyman, ex-US forces, having been drafted into the infantry at the beginning of World War II, and successfully served, and then went on to serve through the Korean War as an NCO. Received a Section 8 discharge after some pretty nasty things happened in the war, and then since then it's been drifting through job to job and some bad habits. Can be brave, am a bit brawny, pretty handy with a pistol, but down on luck, pretty broke, and just kind of keep things together. So thanks to Doctor for the job, the opportunity.
Indeed. And also along, but not part of the scientific group officially, is of course the Doctor's daughter, Jeannie.
Yeah, I'm Elspeth. I'm playing Jeannie. She's 12. Well, I go where Pops goes. Mom was gone since I was a little one, so wherever Pops goes, I goes. And Sarah, don't kid yourself. Whatever reason you think you're here, it's because Pops always insists on some woman being along on the expedition because I don't know. He thinks I need an influence. Anyway, I like science. My dad's a scientist. Pops is a scientist. And when I grow up, I'm going to be better than he is.
Thank you very much. And last but no means least, and left to last because I know you were the last one to get here, so I was trying to give you time to read your background. It's Sarah. Sarah Howell, the undergrad student.
Hi there. I'm Sarah. I kept telling Dad that winter months are for school and summer months are for vacation, but he didn't quite get the idea. So I'm here. I gotta learn. It's actually been more fun than you'd think. It's sort of interesting.
Thank you very much. The only thing we should point out is that as you're all journeying together, you all did notice Sarah brought an enormous amount of
An enormous amount of what?
Yeah, it's just extra clothes. You know how things are. You know, if we're out in the woods, you know, we can fall into like a puddle of mud or something, or quicksand, or you know, be attacked by some kind of, I don't know, wandering cactus or.
And war buddy Nick is always keen to help carry excess baggage.
Indeed. No, it's just I kid you not. Obviously, I know there's always certain cliches, and obviously, if you haven't picked up yet, the vibe we're trying to go for here is definitely your 1950s B movie. So there are some cliches in the character choices, but on Sarah Howell's equipment list, it actually says free.
And I only brought one umbrella. I didn't go too overboard.
No, but you've got 3 changes of clothes a day, haven't you? But I'm gonna warn you, Benny, for greatly jumping into the role of the character you were left with there. So wonderful, thank you very much. So,
okay.
So the event, we join our intrepid heroes as you arrive in the town of Greenfield, Colorado. You arrive shortly after sunset during the midsummer.
How do I get back to this screen with the Bennies on them so I can add one?
Oh, it should be. It's added there. Don't worry, it's there. You've got it.
Oh, okay. It's I see now. It's just you have circles right here.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's that part, because I remember it said Benny's one. I guess that's when there weren't any there. So
it wasn't. Yes, there weren't any there because I forgot to give you them. I also just realised.
Oh, you didn't forget. You were just waiting till everyone was here first.
Of course, to make sure I got the right amount. Indeed.
Never forget these things ever.
So, the only other things I would say is actually before we start that, for those that
okay, it says under combat, attacks with a Derringer. Do I have a Derringer?
You should have.
Must have, otherwise it wouldn't be on the combat
in
tab.
my
Yeah.
inventory. Oh, here we go.
I see this. Inventory.
Yeah, separate.
Indeed.
Okay, yeah, I see that's separate.
Yep.
Yeah, I need it for protection. Yeah, I'm not going to tell anyone.
The other thing I would say is, obviously, this was the theme I thought was closest to was closest to a sort of 1950s sort of industrial vibe. It's called the industrial theme. The only thing is I've noticed with the Savage Worlds is the tabs are a little funny. You sort of have to click to the more to the right than the left of the tab. But so
they need to do that thing that Dominic did with June and all that, is make the tab along the top.
Yeah. So
And you guys all know about push to talk on Discord, right?
Yeah, good idea. That's a subtle hint that we don't want to hear you coughing up your guts.
Okay.
I'll mute myself when I cough. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you do that.
from a settings rules perspective, again, if this passes over your head, don't worry too much. It will just scare the people who know too much. Conviction's not. We're not using conviction. We're not using creative combat. Damage cap is on. Gritty damage is on because it's a horror show. But they do have unarmored hero, so you get bonuses on your soak rolls. So anyway, back where were we? So you've spent many long hours cramped into a car and a pickup truck with boxes and boxes of scientific apparatus as you've travelled here. Today, you drove along countless narrow, twisting county routes, all of which were poorly labelled. You undoubtedly took a number of wrong turns along the way. But at this point, you are all relieved to have reached your destination, where you are undoubtedly excited at the prospect of scientific discovery. The more immediate needs, of course, though, are a warm meal, a cold drink, and a comfortable bed. As you arrive in the center of town of Greenfield, Colorado, you basically you spot the police station as you reach the crossroads and its solitary traffic light. The police station is where you've arranged to meet Officer Hewley. In fact, you get the impression he's there before there is a police cruiser parked in front of it. Officer Hewley initiated the call for assistance, which is why basically you're meeting him. He also apparently has arranged your lodgings and reserved rooms for you through apparently a Mrs. Dorothy. But as I say, so as you arrive in Greenfield, you've basically pull up, and obviously been that many hours in the vehicles, and you find yourself in the centre of the small town. Obviously, as you get out, you're instantly recognised as not being local. So you do get a couple of looks as you sort of get out of the car and the pickup truck and stretch your arms, stretch your legs and everything. As you look up and down the street, you can see the diner, the bar, and the other shops. And yeah, what do you want to do?
You said there's a bar and a shop.
Bar and shops, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can find some souvenirs.
You'll probably have to find something interesting, not being somewhere that tourists usually come to. You might be limited in your choice of souvenirs, but I'm sure you could find something quite obscure in some of the shops. I mean, you're so you got there. Said shortly after sunset, so the shops are probably closing up for the night, so you won't get too long in there. But obviously,
That's Sarah that was looking for souvenirs.
Yes.
Oh, don't worry, Sarah. We're gonna go get some of these wolves. Wolf skins make really nice souvenirs.
You can't put a wolf skin on your desk.
You can put it on your floor.
Nickel, buddy,
And-
you want to go
And
prop
I'm
up
looking
that
at
bar?
you guys.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a dorm room with a wolf skin on my floor. They're probably going to end up with a roommate again. She's going to walk all over it.
Yeah, I'm just going to point out that we're here to try to save the wolves, not skin them.
Well, what are you saving them for? I mean, you're saving them so you want to skin them someday, right?
No, we're here to study them. And sometimes the best way to study them is like the carcass.
See?
Or in a cage.
Exactly.
Jesus, the doc is shaking his head.
Sure,
Me and Bob are going to get a beer.
You and Bob head over to the bar, okay?
Oh, come on. You never,
join you
in
for
all
sure.
your science studies, they never had you dissecting anything? Come on, that's part of science.
I'll join you guys at the bar.
Continues shaking his head.
And you have something.
All right, and as you guys go to the bar, the doc will make sure that the party is checked in.
Hey, Pops, can I go down to the diner and get me a milkshake?
No, you best stay with me.
Okay, so
Oh, stomps my feet.
oh, I've just remembered why I don't run adventures with kids in it. Anyway, no, you're doing very well. It would appear that obviously someone must have called Officer Hewley, because as you're all splitting up, you see him proceeding towards you in a sort of, with a not a unfriendly look upon his face, and in fact quite the opposite. But obviously by then I think Bob and Nick have managed to get off to the pub, and Sarah, is off looking through the windows. Unfortunately, just as you got to the shop, they sort of bolted the door and locked it. Well, whether that's because it was you or just because
I pound on the door for a couple of seconds. I say, "Hey, I just want to buy a souvenir."
The old woman inside seems to be walking away, tapping at the hearing aid. You can see in her head is as if implying she can't hear you. But anyway, Officer Hewley comes over to.
I yell out, since I assume she's just being difficult, and say, "Souvenir."
Oh dear, I've got to give one to that. I've got to give a Benny to Bob for that one. Recording a squad mate named Liam who got into a fist fight with a wolf. Very good, I like it. So obviously Hewley comes over to you, Dr. Winston, and basically says, Dr. Winston, Dr. Carmichael, I presume, and offers out his hand. He seems quite happy that you've arrived. When at least that's what you interpret from his face. He starts looking concerned as he's standing there, his hand out, and
how may I help you? Yeah, of course, I'm shaking his hand. I'm not stalling on him.
I'm only joking. He goes, right. He goes, wonderful stuff. Okay. So he looks around. He sees Sarah sort of shouting through one of the shop's windows. You can see Jeannie hopping from foot to foot behind you, and I'm not sure. Actually, we didn't hear what Kurt was up to. What's Kurt up to?
I will stick with Dr. Winston.
I thought you might. So he looks around and goes, is it just the four of you? I thought there were six. We booked 6 rooms for you, Dr. Carmichael.
Sarah's running up and says the old woman that wouldn't open the door. Like, was she deaf or something? She couldn't hear me.
Yes,
anyway, here I am.
Mrs. Wilson. Yes, she's her hearing can be highly selective. He nods and shakes your hand as you arrive, Sarah, and goes, "Yes, as I say, just the 4 of you. I thought I'd arranged with for 3 rooms at Mrs. Evans' home."
Oh, the other 2 popped in for a drink.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I think we should probably probably get you bedded down, rather than sort of basically heading out. I really think it would be much safer to start in daylight. Don't tell the local farmers this, but personally, I'd rather lose a couple more sheep tonight rather than get you lot wandering around in unfamiliar territory in the dark. So I think what we should do is get you over to Mrs. Evans' home, get you settled in, and then once you're all settled, by all means, come back down to the station. We'll share a cup of coffee and and talk about things, and you can ask any questions, and I can answer anything I can help with. And I'm usually in the station sort of about midnight or so.
Sounds like a plan. Why don't we just go get settled then? And we'll see you in how many? When would you like to meet?
Well, whenever you're settled, as I say, I'll be in the station till at least to around midnight. And then I.
All
usually
right,
get
sure.
out.
So we'll come down. We'll see you in about 30 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to get? Does someone want to fetch your friends? I'll walk you down to Mrs. Evans' house, and
I'll go get him, Pops. I'll go get him. And she takes off running. And I go down to the bar, and I just poke my head in the bar and go, "Hey, guys, Pops wants y'all."
All right, better finish up. Last one for the road.
Yeah, we'll just knock on back and go, innit? Yeah.
Let's roll.
She's gone. She skips off ahead. Hey, Pops, I'm bringing him.
Terrific.
wonderful. So basically, it's a short walk from the centre of town to Mrs. Evans' house. As we're going along, by now, Mac Hewley. Officer Mac says explains that Mrs. Evans' house is the only town resident whose home has enough spare rooms to accommodate you all in under one property. Though it does, as was discussed over the phone, it does require 2 people per room. As you get closer, the house is large and airy. It's a large and airy farmhouse. It's kept clean and neat, but there are signs of wear. Rooms are small and adequate for a short stay. There's a you and Mrs. Evans all share a single bathroom. The town is covering the cost of the rooms, so you don't need to be concerned about paying the rent or anything. But yes, as I say, you're taken to the house, and the door's opened by Mrs. Evans. She introduces herself as Dorothy Evans, and then says, "Just call me Dot." And she fusses around you, ushers you inside, gets you all sitting down, and basically says, "Now, does anyone want a nice cup of tea?" And
Got milkshakes?
Got whiskey?
I'll have a cup of
Jesus
tea,
Christ,
please.
I'll have
Doc.
a cup of tea. Thank you for your hospitality.
I thought people were talking about coffee a little while ago.
That stuff's for old
Tea's
people.
sort of like coffee. I'll have the tea.
What about a Coke? Got a Coke?
she goes, "Why, what a charming child!"
Don't mind her. Her mother couldn't keep her this weekend.
No, in my bio, my mom died when I was like 2. That's why
There you
you
go.
put up with me, and I follow you everywhere, Daddy.
Yeah, and me as well.
And Nick.
Indeed.
Bob, wanting to throw petrol on the fire, pulls out a can of cola and hands it to the kid.
Oh, thanks. They're not so bad.
Caffeine and sugar before bedtime. Enjoy, Dad.
Well, actually, don't. Well, bearing in mind, you've got to bear in mind that obviously it's not going to be Dad that's going to have to put up with Jeannie. It's going to be Sarah, isn't it? Because Jeannie and Sarah will have to share a room.
Yeah. Hi. At least she's another girl.
Indeed.
Don't feel too alone
Hey,
here.
hey, Jeannie, are there good springs in the bed? Will that make a good bouncy castle?
Well, I don't do bouncy castles, but I want to test the springs for tension. Do you know how to calculate the movement of a spring in a vacuum? It's a really intricate calculation.
Are you expecting us to have to move these springs in a vacuum?
Bob glazes over and wishes he hadn't left the bar.
Officer
'Cause
Mac,
I really
Officer
don't
Mac,
want us to be.
Well, this
sleeping in a
altitude
vacuum.
isn't exactly a vacuum, but we're getting closer.
Nick's tired. He's going to drink his tea and then make his way to his room.
Have they even vacuumed this place at all?
Indeed. Okay. Officer Mac obviously nods and makes his way out. Nick's obviously heading out, off to bed. So basically, all you really got to decide is who. Obviously, Dot takes Jeannie and Sarah up to and says, "I saved you the nice room." Based on what you've seen, you can't see how it's any nicer than the other two rooms. As I say, there's nothing wrong. They're all neat and tidy, but obviously showing signs of wear and possible. Well, not neglect's not the right word, but obviously Mrs.
Too much work
Evans-
for one old lady to do. Yeah.
Yes, basically, you can see things that need repairing around the house.
If I spot anything that needs repairing, I'll say to her, I can fix that.
Anything that isn't a trench is good.
She escorts each of you up to the rooms. I'm assuming Bob and Nick are going to share a room, and Kurt and Winston are going to share a room. But obviously, if you want to swap around, that's fine. But as she takes each couple of you upstairs, she reels off the same brote. Basically, breakfast is served promptly at 7 a.m. She's the only person allowed to use the kitchen. No use of showers or baths after 9 p.m. No loud music. For the record, though, she's smiling sweetly as she says all this. However, someone says the bennies must fly. It's a horror game. They shouldn't have too many bennies, but they.
Yes, we should have too many bennies, especially with you.
Afraid. After a while, though, you do get the you do get the impression she's sort of slightly overdoing the sweetness and niceness, but there's nothing wrong with that. Also, as she goes along, she talks. She's happy. She'll basically as she's walking up the stairs, she'll point out things and the odd photo here and there, and she'll say, "Oh, do you like?" When you get to the top of the stairs, there's a nice table with a lamp on it, and she says, "Oh, I got that lamp from so and so," and you never believe what was happening with her daughter, and so get the impression
Go
that
ahead.
you've got the
What? Tell me. I want
gossip.
to hear it. I want to hear it. Come on.
Oh well, you come back downstairs. We'll have a nice cup of tea in the foyer. Foyer? Sorry, I went into hotel mode rather than in the parlour. I went into hotel mode rather than house mode. And we'll have a good chat, my dear. So yeah, basically the evening is yours. You can go to sleep early or whatever. What do you wish to do?
Well, she said no loud music. That means there must be something around here that makes music. What is there?
There's a radio in the parlour.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Gets up to the room and digs out her transistor radio. We did have transistors back then. Runs through it and goes, "Damn! We're so far up here, there's no radio signals in the area. Must be the mountains."
There gotta be. Why would she tell us not to make loud music if we couldn't make any music? There's got to be a radio signal.
Well, nothing my transistor's picking up. All I'm getting is white noise. Here, listen, and I jack it up a bit.
Indeed.
Anybody packing a harmonica?
I'm packing a harmonica.
I'm not. In fact, was it expected? Because nobody told me to bring a harmonica, and I didn't.
Just checking.
Righty ho. Okay. So basically, the evening's your own. You can do whatever you want, or See, this is the chance to settle in, get any background gossip, do get up to any shenanigans you want before everything goes horribly.
Well, the doc,
Has
the
old
doc,
Go
the
ahead.
doc will just say that that he's going to head off to bed. He says try to stay out of trouble, and we'll see you bright and early at 0600 down here tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Nick's already asleep.
It's already asleep. Is anyone going to head over to the police station, or do we want to fade out to the next day?
I think an early night is in order. There's going to be some boxes needing shifting tomorrow. Nice early start.
Okay, well, obviously breakfast is served promptly at 7, and basically it's a perfectly adequate breakfast. So obviously, he does remind you as you're getting ready to head out for the day that no one's that basically if you've got to make sure that the you're back early enough to have your showers and baths by 9 p.m. Again, all with that lovely smile. And basically, sorry, I was just got distracted there. Yeah, basically, that's okay. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So, in the morning, you're after breakfast. What's your plans?
Go and see the sheriff.
Go
Huh?
and see the police. Yeah.
Well, the doc's in charge. We do what he tells us.
Awaiting orders.
Yeah. No, as I said, let's go to the police. Talk to the sheriff. The police. The
Yeah.
constable in the parlance of other parts of the world.
Okay, so you in the morning you head down to the police station. The Officer Mac is there and smiles as you come in and basically offers you all a cup of coffee if you want one, and basically takes you off to one side and sits down to answer any questions or anything. Explain the situation.
Yeah, I'm confused. We're here to confirm the presence of gray wolves and their reemergence. So we thought they were extinct. The hell are we doing in a police station? I mean, all due respect, happy to talk to you, but I'd like to get out in the field and find these wolves.
Well, basically, he obviously giving you the background. He explains that local farmers have been reporting a higher than expected number of losses among their herds. They suspect wolves are the culprits. However, there's a general consensus Colorado's native grey wolf population was eradicated more than a decade prior. If something's preying on the sheep and other domestic animals, then either the species has been reintroduced or something else has filled the ecological niche. Either possibility, of course, was of interest to you, Dr. Carmichael. Obviously, from your perspective, I think you want it all to be wolves and some other predator coming in to take their place. But you want to know where they came from, and if another predator's attacking the herds, of course, the town would like it identified. Hewley explains that he was the one who basically. Hewley explains that he was the one to make the research that the scientists come out. He admits he may have put you into an awkward situation because he did so against the mayor's request. Apparently, Mr. Hank Milson and Dr. Carl Tappet were pressuring him pretty unrelentingly to take serious action about the threat. Carl Tappet has already lost a few dozen sheep. Meanwhile, the rest of the locals were downplaying Tappet's panic, thinking he was exaggerating the matters. And something took animals right out of the Mr. Hank Milson's stockyard, and everyone became a lot more worried about that matter. And that's what prompted the police officer to make a call to you. He admits also that he's been trying to help Tappet with his missing sheep on his farm for months. But it started out a bit like a boy who cried wolf, with the occasional sheep missing, about one every few weeks. At first, obviously, people were saying, well, that's just Tappet. He's not very good at keeping track of how many sheep he actually has and stuff. But now,
if there's a boy who cried wolf, isn't that good? That's what we want.
In this case, yes, indeed. Or maybe just one straying away from the flock and getting lost. But he made little of it though. Although Tappet was genuinely concerned. So Hewley explains how he poked around the area and he asked neighbours questions and didn't get any good leads. And this has been going on since late March. Then, as the weather started to warm up over the last month, the problems become more pronounced as the number of missing sheep have increased. Soon Tappet was losing 1 sheep a week, and the neighbours started to take him more seriously. Lately, he's lost even more sheep than that. With the animals missing from the stockyard, the villagers are now in up.
Well, okay, so I'm still confused. You guys are bent out of shape because some wolves are attacking livestock? That's what they do?
Well, the wolves are supposed to be dead, though, aren't they? And gone.
Yes. Indeed.
Well, let's go and find them.
Go to the farm, innit?
I brought along some grad students we can use for bait.
I like it.
And the doc looks at all of you guys and sort of just, shrugs his shoulders and says, well,
Ichiban, Doctor.
Okie doke. Whatever's taken the animals has not left any remains, or at least no one's found any.
Has it left any discernible tracks?
Wow, that's a good question. Can I have science rolls from anyone who has the science skill? If you want to attempt it unskilled, by all means, make an unskilled roll. Obviously,
my fantasy grounds is.
Hold up. Yeah, there we go.
There it goes.
Science or
Science.
science? Okay.
Talking biology.
She blinded
here,
me
really.
with it.
Here we go.
There we go. Well, there you go. So all the academics in the party. Oh no, this is not consistent with normal wolf predation. A wolf attack is typically gruesome.
Well, I like the idea that if we could find the tracks, because possibly they're just taking maybe they've evolved a little bit with their behavior and they want to take their prey to a lair.
I thought evolution takes like billions of years.
Well, you never
They
know.
weren't ready to evolve anyway.
Sometimes they're quantum leaps in evolution. Did you ever read X-Men comics? Those were around by then.
No, they're not. They started in 1960s.
In this universe,
So
they did.
I'll pretend you said let's see what. I'm sure there was some movie you could have mentioned.
Maybe it's werewolves.
Hewley thought for some time the issue, because of the lack of any.
We're going to need silver then, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hewley be thinking
Genie.
possibly it was the lack of.
I say I have some
Bodies.
money
Sorry,
here.
Gandalf.
If you can hit them with quarters and dimes.
Hewley apparently also thought someone could either be pranking Tappet or someone was actually stealing the sheep. However, the slow pace of the disappearances and the targeting stockyard did not make any sense. He says he searched the area and not been able to turn up any animal or vehicle tracks that seemed out of.
I think we need to get to the farm.
Indeed. But yep. So if you want to head out to the farm, then let's get you out to the farm. Righty ho. But you basically head out to. Obviously, you've got a car and a truck, so it's okay. Although only one of you's got driving, which would be interesting if we need it. Obviously, it doesn't mean none of you can't drive. It's just obviously the driving skill is useful in stressful situations, but normal day-to-day driving, I wouldn't worry about it. So I don't know why.
Oh, in that case, can I drive? Pops lets me drive sometimes.
You have a driver's license?
You're getting an escort from Officer Hewley, so I suspect he won't let you today.
I'm 12. They don't give you a license yet.
Yes, I figured that. That's why I asked you.
I can drive.
Anyway, okay. So when you basically Officer Hewley comes along, so it's a convoy of 3 vehicles as you head out to the farm. It's as I say, it's there's nothing untoward about the farm. Out of the ordinary about the farm. It's your typical sheep farm, as it were. As you get closer, you see plenty of fields, and some of them have some sheep. And when you arrive, I've got lost my train of thought there. Well, I was trying to look for something. No, I don't have a description of him. When you arrive, obviously someone steps out of the house as he sees the police car and 2 other vehicles come over. And as soon as Officer Hewley explains who you are, Carl Tappet rushes over, very excited and grateful that you have arrived, and shakes you all individually by each and every one of you, including Jeannie, by the hand, and very happy that you've come out here, and it just proves the fact that you are here, respected scientists and a whole team of researchers are all out here to basically means that he was right all along, and that basically those people that just kept making derisive comments about him and his inability to keep clear of his sheep, he's obviously he's a bit OTT in the fact that he's very excited that you're there. He's also anxious to point out every single incident in exquisite detail. It takes you quite some time as he basically takes you to each field where each sheep's gone, and he's lost about 20-30 now. So and he explains in exquisite detail the process of each day. So quite a few hours have gone by the time he's taking you around everywhere, and we shall do some. You'll have plenty of opportunity to tell me what type of research you want to do as you're being led around all over his farm. But yes, you definitely get the impression from him that something's horribly amiss. And yes, I have some notice checks, please.
So he's doing his research check on just simply trying to figure out how these are different than what gray wolves he was expecting.
Okie dokie. That's fine. We'll go for that. I just if you want to make some notice checks first.
And apparently, I noticed something wrong.
Well, both Kurt and both Jeannie gets the impression something's. Well, Jeannie thinks this guy's a bit weird, but Kurt and Dr. Winston, you are very much of the. You'll definitely be becoming more and more
Let me
convinced.
roll. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay. Oh God.
You wanted to save that roll for later, didn't you?
Yeah.
You basically know
It
the guy's life story
exploded
by
like
now.
so much.
Indeed. I'm going to
That's
say
because he's watching out for getting all kinds
I
of.
remember this exact phrase said by one of my professors once. Exactly. This like 20 word long thing about the habits of wolves and what some specific thing means. So what do I see?
Well, we'll come on to that. But for the
What do
notice
I
checks,
learn?
I shall tell you. But for those that made the notice checks, so that would be Kurt and Winston for getting the raise. Um, as basically, you're becoming as you're going round and he's sort of explaining everything in exquisite detail. You're getting more and more the impression that Mr. Tappet might be a bit overly obsessed about this. In fact, you know, you're getting the feeling that he may have lost a few marbles over, as well as some sheep over what's going on. Obviously, to begin with, you didn't really think much about it at the time, but he's been as he goes everywhere with a shotgun on his over his shoulder. But it's the fact he keeps sort of keeps his hand at all times near this massive shearing knife that he's put into a makeshift scabbard on his belt, and he's always constantly looking around as if expecting trouble. But so basically he took you round different places. It was 8 different pastures, each about 10 acres in size. And during the warmer months, he splits the sheep into flocks and rotates them through the pastures on a weekly basis. Uses dogs as well as farm hands to manage the flocks. Sheep have gone missing from each of the different pastures, though no one has ever seen them go missing. In each case, the dogs have been unwilling to go to the specific parts of the pastures where the sheep vanished. They whine and bark and act skittish around that area. So, Sarah has made a science check. And
Actually, I had intended to roll research, but they're both D6s.
It's absolutely fine. No, science is fine. Research, it would be more. Research would be more when you're sort of back at base and looking through stuff, rather than science is sort of what you know.
Okay, then yeah, science.
Yeah. I also need tracking checks, which is survival from those if they want, because I do believe people wanted to look for tracks.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking for some tracks.
Okay.
Not necessarily animal tracks, because the police said he didn't see any animal tracks.
While we're visiting each of the pastures, Kurt is taking copious notes and using his camera to photograph.
Wonderful. Okay.
Jeannie's sort of poking around into everything because she just
yeah. So obviously we've had Sarah's. I think Sarah's obviously going to. This is where Sarah's going to shine today. Obviously, she's obviously been doing some actual good studying here, but obviously the doc's. The doc doesn't spot anything, but he's possibly distracted because he's keeping half an eye on Jeannie at the time. So I just need a science. Jeannie, if you want to make a science check, by all means do so. Okay. Still nothing. Indeed, it is a long and arduous day, and obviously, you've obviously got some research notes with you, so we'll let you use your scientist notes. But yeah, it's okay. It's a long and arduous day of searching. You find you will find no evidence of wolf activity in the area. Sarah, having got multiple raises, is confident that this is not the work of typical predators. If you do not find any sign of prints, spoor, or evidence of any animals other than sheep, farm hands, and sheepdogs. This does include smaller wildlife such as rabbits and squirrels and even birds. All seem to be nowhere to be found in this area.
While we're out in these fields, are we hearing or seeing any other wildlife that would naturally be around?
No, you're not. In fact, I think that's a good thing. Can I have some notice checks?
Notice checks.
Indeed. Now someone's pointed out they can't hear anything. Oh, Bob's seen something. Kurt hasn't seen anything.
That's a veteran's sixth sense, that is.
It looks like Bob for the win here. Bob, you notice it's quite late in the day and the sun's starting to set, and you're going to probably have to. And obviously, Hewley, who's sort of been popping in and around all day and coming back, has come back and is sort of seeming to think it's a good time to. Obviously, he doesn't want you lot getting lost out in unfamiliar territory, so he's obviously back to escort you back to town. When you notice it, a series of depressions in the ground. Each one's about 18 inches in diameter. They hadn't stood out. You didn't really notice them initially because they're about 15 to 20 feet between each depression.
That's interesting. Can I
So yeah, it's
highlight
built.
these to the doc and to Sarah and get their take on these depressions?
Maybe a man on stilts. There can't be a creature with a 15-foot leg spread.
Tappet notices you looking at one of these depressions and then pointing at another one. And he says, yes, I've noticed a few of those about. I thought they were places where the sheep were lying down.
But they're in a row like some big thing is walking.
Indeed. Very strange. So obviously Kurt said he was taking photos, which is good. At which point Officer Hewley's sort of saying, well, I really think it's getting dark and, it's getting late and I think we should get you guys back to town. If there are predators out here, the last thing we really want is anything happening. Obviously, there's still the feed shop and stockyard we need to take you to and everything. So
Can't we stay here tonight? If anything happens?
Take it out. Have we lost our DM?
You want to stay? You want to stay out in the fields tonight, do you?
Oh, can we stay at the farm?
Well, the farm doesn't have. Carl sort of seems quite eager, but he says, "I'm afraid I don't have any rooms."
I think camping out here would be a great idea.
Does anybody have?
We got
That would be
camping
a
equipment.
beautiful idea.
I have
To-
camping
to-
gear.
Officer Hewley doesn't think that's a very good idea. Really thinks, he's obviously concerned that the last thing he really wants is anything happening to you lot when you're out here on his request.
Well, if Officer Hewley would like to go back to town, he may, but we think that it would be the scientific thing to do to stay out here.
What about
Yeah,
Jeannie?
Bait. Nick and I can keep Stag.
Kurt's
But
all
if
for it.
he'd
I'm
like to
good.
take the girls back to town to babysit them, that's fine.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we're supposed to be doing research just like you guys. I'm here for the summer to do research. I'm doing research.
We got somewhere apart from this farm. Is there somewhere else we need to go and visit as well?
Well, things have been animals have been taken from the stockyards.
Oh, maybe we should go to the stockyards before it's dark then.
Well, they'll be closed up by now. It's a feed shop and stockyard outside Central Greenfield. Officer Hewley says he'll take you there first thing in the morning if you want.
Well, why don't you take the girls back to town and we'll stay here for the night and you come get us and we'll go to the stockyard.
Yeah. So have you got
No,
camping
we're
equipment?
gonna be here.
How much camping equipment have you got?
We're here to be here.
Oh, we're
It just
fine.
says-
We're not gonna sleep. We're gonna be researching and watching all night.
What's
You're gonna be
the
taking notes.
You can sleep a little bit, but
what's the most elevated position around these fields? Have we got some trees that we can climb up and keep Stag, or is this all pretty flatlands?
I imagine there's some sort of feed store, isn't there? Being a sheep farm, I imagine there's something to store feed in.
One of those big grain silo things.
It's the 50s, so it's probably just a wooden barn, but yeah.
Wouldn't mind, suggesting to the old doctor to see if there's any visual advantage from up there to check out these depressions, and if that gives any insight.
Well, I don't think we should be splitting the party by having some in. I know that they do that in every horror movie, but whoever ends up in the smallest party always ends up dead, don't they?
Well,
how
that's
it
why I
goes.
think we should send the girls to the town with the
Trying to get
cop.
the girls killed off.
No, let the girls go. Let the girls go with the cop, and we can split up. One of us can go to the barn, and one of us could go to the grain silo. And what could go wrong?
An attack last night, was there?
No, nothing was taken last night.
Good. So they're hungry.
Has there been a pattern to the nights on which they were taken?
Tonight's grad student night.
God, you got too many pennies now.
Every second night, every third night?
I was just trying to remind myself, actually. A little chat. One every few weeks, it started out. Over the last month, it's become more pronounced as the number of missing sheep increased. One a week. He's lost it. Yeah. It was down to one a week recently, but now the last week or so, it's up to about twice a week.
And when was the last one that went missing?
Probably yesterday, day before yesterday. Sorry. We'll say today's Wednesday, Monday night.
If we calculate the increase, can we predict whether it's likely to occur tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the best it's you reckon based on the increase, it's probably more likely to be tomorrow than tonight. But obviously, if it's accelerating likewise up to 3 times a week, then tonight you calculate that tonight would probably be the night something would be taken.
Explain the theory to the group.
They just look at you with complete silence. It would appear.
Who's looking at who with complete silence?
So let me get this straight. So basically, you want Officer Hewley to take Jeannie and Sarah back to Mrs. Evans's house. Is that what we're saying? And the rest of you are going to spend the night in the sheep farm.
Oh no, I ain't going. Pops ain't going.
All right, you can stay with us.
Okie dokie. Right, well, obviously Kurt's camping gear is enough for him to camp out in, not for anyone else. The rest of you sleeping under the stars.
Nick and I are used to roughing it.
I'll sleep in the pickup truck. In the bed of the pickup truck. That'll work.
Indeed, yeah, that would work.
Watches, Nick, first watch.
Yeah, sure.
Wait.
Can't really. What we're watching for? We're going to be hiding. What we're going to be doing?
I would suggest Nick and I on stag rotation from the highest points of elevation, overlooking this field where there've been sheep bodies.
Yeah, with my leg, I'm not
and,
climbing up. I'm not climbing up any.
Fair play, mate. Fair play.
Yeah,
You're gonna
not-
hang
yeah.
around in the near the vehicle.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll stay in the with a car. I can't climb up any ladders with this leg.
Good
Or this
point.
lack of a leg.
Kurt
We
volunteers
can just
to
pull the
climb
truck
up
over
there and
next
do
to
it.
the field.
Okay, so it's a colder than normal night actually. It's been quite hot lately, but tonight for some reason it's colder than normal. As time goes on, it's the sky is growing darker and darker, and it's getting a little more oppressive and clouding over, and the wind's starting to get up to speed. And in the distance, it looks like you can see what looks like rain. Then quite quickly, the temperature drops quite suddenly.
I'm gonna take a good sip of my hip flask of cheap whiskey.
That's when the rain starts.
And Jeannie climbs around over to the cab of the trucks from the back because so she's not getting wet. Looks like a cold front came through.
Indeed.
Ain't this just typical?
Because nobody
We're
checked
in-
the weather report. did they?
it's summer. Can't get that cold.
At these elevations, yeah, it can.
Summer showers, man.
But as I say, so it's a cold and wet night as you basically, yeah, cold and wet night as morning arrives. The rain dies off. Not near any of the fields, but you hear some back on the other side of the farm. You do hear some birds, bird calls, birds tweeting and everything. But cold, wet, and fed up, the night proves to be uneventful.
Rootless. Well, my back step from keeping stag up on that feed tower all night almost slipped a few times when it started raining.
But yes, question is, it's about at this point it's about probably about 6 in the morning. I mean, if you hurry, you might get back in.
Oh, okay. Let's get back to
Not
breakfast.
really.
Yeah.
We
Hot
don't need to
breakfast
have
sounds
camp
good.
out breakfasts.
Well, I'm giving you the choice. You don't have to. It's up to you.
We can go back to camp. We can go back to the house, have breakfast, get everyone having a shower who needs one, and because she said after 9 a.m., not before 9 a.m. And then we can go and investigate the other place, the yard.
Okie doke. Well, you have to with the by the time you got everything packed up and everything sort of sorted out, you get back before 7 o'clock to the house, and Mrs. Dot, call me Dot, as sort of gets up, looking a little surprised and a bit put out that none of you came home last night, and you definitely get the distinct impression that she wasn't expecting you all for breakfast. She looks you all up and down as you all stand there, wet and muddy and tusking, but then sort of remembers herself and starts acting all concerned and caring, and basically make sure you take off your muddy boots and shoes and boots and leave them on the porch before you come inside the house. She starts
All the eggs and all the bacon, please, ma'am.
and she
And I go to change my clothes.
indeed, and she definitely you definitely get the impression that she's sort of basically making an effort to be very nice and helpful, and hopefully, and there's obviously seems is quite calling out and definitely trying to find out what happened last night and all that. When you as you head up the stairs, to your assigned rooms, and you're not. Whoops, just pressed the wrong button there. You're not. When you get into the rooms, everything looks pretty much as you thought you left it. But not sure if things haven't moved around slightly. But there's if any chance, but maybe you're just imagining it. I really wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure everything's okay. And breakfast is ready, and it is a good hearty breakfast, and you all feel a lot better for clean clothes and good food.
Well, Doc, that was a waste of time. What's happening today?
Well, that stuff happens, So you know how science goes. Sometimes, you hit the jackpot, and other times it's just another trial.
We're doing research.
Yeah, it's never a strikeout when you're doing research.
Well, yeah, it was, obviously, but we could have, researched something. We were just sitting there waiting for nothing.
Well, we researched.
Grumpy and cold,
nothing.
and yeah, I mean,
Waiting for
my
a man
knee,
on tilt.
my leg is killing me, even though it's gone.
Jesus, son, haven't you ever gone hunting before? You don't always get the big buck, buddy. Sometimes you got to.
This ain't hunting.
It's
Actually,
sort of
I'm going to go and have a shower.
Kurt holds back, reciting or recalling incidents from the wars. So you civvies never know a damn thing.
Okay.
But he keeps it under his hat because this is his meal ticket.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Yes. Something in the background. It's about 9 o'clock when obviously I assume everyone's sort of making use of the facilities and everything else, and basically it's about, as I say, it's about 9 o'clock when you become aware that there's some frantic knocking on the door, and basically Dot sort of and some women seem to be wittering on about together, might be somewhere. It sounds like something's all kicking off, but I'm sure it's not anything. In the meantime, obviously Kurt, I'm going to say, obviously you've had time to develop with you probably sort of done some stuff with your research and everything, your photographs and everything. So I want, obviously, spending the morning doing some research, waiting for the officer Hewley, who you would have thought had been here by now. Can we have some tracking, so survival or knowledge? Science checks, please. Knowledge science anymore? It's just science. Hey, Bob, you've been thinking about those depressions and making some calculations. Meantime, Kurt's obviously doing the same thing. Jeannie and Dr. Winston and basically doing their science roles. I'm desperately trying to find. That's okay. Winston got the raise. So let's see, Bob. Kurt, you've been sitting there thinking about the depressions and going on about if it was
That thing's got to be about the size of a T-Rex.
Yeah, science. Let me do this thing. I forgot. Never mind.
No. So obviously I'm going to say Kurt and Bob, you were talking about those depressions, and in terms of they were tracked, you were trying to work stuff out, and between the two of you come up with a figure that doesn't look right. So then you start researching it all again. in the meantime, Jeannie and with Sarah's help and obviously Dr. Carmichael sort of and Jeannie and Sarah are all working together, looking through books and everything, trying to sort of make head or tail of what you're going on. And it's obviously Jeannie finds and Sarah find useful information that basically helps Dr. Carmichael come to an astounding logical leap that he wouldn't have done without their help. But it's when you realise that you need to scale things up, that's when you come to the conclusion that those depressions would only make sense if you think in terms of spider tracks.
Spiders. 15-foot tall spiders?
Well, this is the thing because
Or so they're jumping spiders. They jump from one track to the next?
Well, each foot
So
or
it's just
leg
a
is
big
a
spider
lever
with a foot span of 15 feet.
15 to 20 feet, you seem to reckon. So, from your calculation, the calculation Bob and Kurt's been
Fantastic.
working on.
I love spiders, especially 15-foot leg span spiders. They're my favourite thing.
Dottie, ma'am, is there a gun store in town?
That would work out. Sorry, that would work out to, from your calculations you've worked out, and then with the information about the spiders, that works out to a spider with a leg span of more than 100 feet, which means that would calculate that the body of the spider would have to be approximately 80 feet long.
We need to get John Candy and is it
That
John?
is
No, not John.
impossible.
Who is it? No, not John. Is it John Candy?
I was thinking of the Who
Arachnophobia.
song, yeah, no, that was
yeah.
John Goodman.
John Goodman. There you go.
Give me a nail gun and a can of spray paint.
At this point, it would appear the gossip is all over town. That something's going on. All the ladies are gossiping to each other downstairs.
About what? What's happening? I've just come out of the bathroom and I've just got dressed and I've come downstairs and I hear this talk about spiders. I'm like, of course it's 100-foot long spider. Come on, lads. There's no such thing as giant spiders.
And Jeannie pipes up, can you imagine the size of a web for a spider that size? Wow.
Yeah, why didn't we see any web around to corroborate this? Was this not a web weaving spider?
All spiders weave.
Well, to prove to come back, basically what you need to do is you need to head back to that farm, because then you can work with the chemist's kit, which I know one of you's got. You can basically examine the prints and you can probably run chemical tests and see what you can find. But in the meantime, apparently, it sounds like I've lost it. I've lost who.
Sounds like some geek. I mean, excuse me, some scientific shit to me.
Nick is heading. Nick obviously is the one who hears it because I'm assuming you're working upstairs, as it were. Again, a couple of times when you were working through stuff, you could have sworn that you hadn't left that book there. You thought you'd put it on another shelf, but I'm sure it's nothing. Obviously, someone else moved it while you were doing the research. I wouldn't worry about it. But anyway,
Maybe it was moved by a 15-foot spider.
Apparently, by the sound of things, there was some sort of accident at the stockyard last night, and Frank Milson's missing.
Oh, okay. We better head over there first, then, innit, I suppose. Head over there first, and then we can go to the farm. We want to get to the farm by like 1 o'clock or something, and then
Okay. So as you basically you get directions from Dot. Apparently, no one's seen Officer Hewley since he took off at high speed first thing this morning. I can't remember the last time Mac was seen driving down the street with the lights on, with the lights and the siren going. especially in the early hours, because the residents do complain about that sort of.
Complain about the cop doing his job.
Well,
Sounds right.
making
Yep, sounds about right. Small
Yeah.
town.
yes, small town. Yeah. Making an undue noise in the early hours of the morning is what they.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you basically you get directions from Dot and head out to the stockyard, and as you start heading out there, as you get closer and closer, everything about the town, you can see more and more people seem to be standing around talking as you're driving out of town. It's only a couple of miles to the stockyard. It's just outside Central Greenfield, and as you get closer, what you can see is basically one side of the building seems to basically be missing. There's something just literally just sort of bulldozed half the building aside. The main stockyard building. You can still see the feed shop and the house and Milson's house that both appear to be unaffected.
Is there a? So we're now with a crowd of people.
No,
looking...
there's not
Oh,
a
no.
crowd actually. As you get out of town, it gets empty. As you get closer, all you see is basically Officer Hewley's police car just parked up, and no sign of Officer Hewley either.
Do we see Drax?
Well, you can certainly get out. You can certainly head over and have a look if you wish.
Yes.
I'm dying for a cigarette. Can I go inspect his squad car for his pack of smokes and a lighter or a box of matches?
I'm sure you could go over there and have a look. Okay, so basically, getting out.
I thought that it was his way of telling us we needed a real-time break. I was mistaken.
I'm looking for an ignition source. I don't have one.
I need to throw a lung dart right now.
Righty ho. Where were we? So yes, you head over to the you can see the feed shop seems intact, but the stockyard, basically, the whole side of it's missing. And as you can see, there seems to be quite a few herd of cattle sort of milling about the place. All of them basically still showing appear to be slightly distressed and all staying away from the damaged side of the stockyard. As you look around, you do notice some of those telltale impressions upon the ground. They seem to be heading off to the forest behind the farm.
Any eyewitnesses around here? Anyone, cowering behind the car or something?
No, and no sign of Officer Hewley either. I can't remember who's playing who again. He's playing Bob, and Bob's Bob. Can I have a notice check as you wander over to the police car?
Notice check, was it?
Please, yes. The car's parked in front of the house. Ah, indeed. As you basically as you head over to the police car, you notice that the front door to the house is ajar, but you notice in the hallway what looks like in pride of place, it has to be said, actually, hanging up, as it were, is a uniform. Recognize it as what looks like a World War I uniform.
Man, that's interesting. There's some veterans around these parts. Can I check the pockets? Maybe check the belts, or maybe there's a.
So you enter into the house. Basically, there you see there seems to be there's a section on the wall there where a large number of medals are. You from basically reading the insignia and stuff, it looks like it would appear that you get the impression that, assuming it was Hank Milson, I've never met the guy, you're not certain, but you guess that the Hank Milson, or possibly his father, served in the 93rd Infantry Division in World War One. Judging by the megalas and everything, was obviously a decorated veteran.
Is there a rifle hanging over a fireplace by any chance, or maybe a bit of a room inspection? I'm looking for weapons here.
What you do find is there does appear to be something where a rifle could possibly have hung over a fireplace. In addition, you do find an open drawer with that seems to sort of have stuff, with stuff on the floor around it as if it was yanked open and frantically searched through. And as you look into the drawer there, what you do find is a few rifle cartridges.
Right, so my gut is telling me that somebody's grabbed his rifle off the wall, grabbed the box of rounds, dropped a few.
You do also find, as you're looking around inside the room there, you do also find under the by the door to the front room, on the floor, a half-filled M1 magazine.
I'm going to pocket that, as well as all of the loose cartridges knocking around. And I'm going to turn around to Nick and say, hey, man, keep up.
I'm just going to laugh. Yeah, I'm going to see if there's anything I can salvage for me as well. I can make stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, so meanwhile, what are the rest of you doing down outside with the tracks heading off to the forest?
I'm going to try to remember what I might have heard about spiders. I mean, I know you can squash them, but it's probably too big to squash. But maybe more scientific things I may have heard about spiders.
Someone had it. Missed it.
Is that research or
science kit? Yeah, science field kit, or a science kit.
I have a science field kit and I have a science skill, so just all the science. Or
yeah, please do.
Well, it should. The kit should like do something like usually adds like a 1 to your roll, right? So like if you put a 1 in the modifier box and then rolled the science kit, it's like using a healing kit, right? So like you get but I don't know.
Give you a bonus. I mean, sometimes you need a healing kit to heal, don't you?
Yeah,
otherwise you can't do the healing.
I'm gonna Benny this.
Okay.
How do I take the Benny off because it doesn't move?
There's 2 ways to do it. You can either drag a Benny and drop it on the skill you want to re-roll, and then it will say you're using a Benny to re-roll it, or you just drag a Benny and drop it in the chat window and re-roll manually. I don't mind which way you do it.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Okay.
You got to raise that time.
2 raises, I'm going to say, with the science kit. So, although these days they usually give you. These days, obviously, it's more preferred to give you 3 rolls than flat modifiers. But anyway, I'm giving modifiers. Okay. So obviously, working around what you do, basically using the kit while examining the prints, you turn up tiny fragments of chitin-based hairs. You got the rays as well. So you got the second rays as well. So not only do you find those and identify them as the type of as exactly what you'd expect to find on a spider, with the second rays, which you get with the bonus from the science kit, you determine that they are identical to those found upon.
And the doc is.
What do spiders fear?
Fire. All animals fear fire.
Do we have any fire?
Did I manage to get that ignition source for that cigarette I was so desperate for?
You probably find a lighter in the drawer as well. Actually, I'm going to say you find the lighter as you head back out. It's lying on the ground near the porch.
Can we maybe get some gasoline and make like a fire?
I can do that. I can make a anything you like. Yeah.
Is there a gas station in
Yeah.
town?
It's. I wink at you. I say,
We all caught up
Farm
together
areas
now,
here,
we?
there must be.
you
Yes,
gotta
you're all
you gotta
caught up
help
together.
us. You gotta help us. Help us make a firebomb. I mean, I'll probably do like one or two things towards it just to show that I'm doing a little work.
Well, then you
but-
better come. We have to go back to the house and get the stuff to make it.
Before you go to town looking for gasoline, speaking from real life experience on rural farms,
We
almost
had gasoline
all of them,
somewhere. Yeah.
almost all of them have a gasoline tank, a large gasoline tank that they have somebody come out and fill every so often for.
I knew we brought this kid along for a reason.
Oh,
That is.
Yeah, so
that
I'll
is
go
what
and
we're
I'm going to
talking
go and
about. More
improvise
firepower.
a firebomb.
Okie doke.
And the doc wants to
When
know
was
why you guys
napalm
want to
invented?
burn shit up
Today
when we can
in Savage
just
Worlds.
save 'em.
That's right.
Come on, Pop. Some people are just scared of spiders.
Told you, snowflakes, all of you.
There's one spider that can flatten itself out and wrap itself around a branch. You can't
looking
even
at
tell it's a spider
Wikipedia,
until it drops on you.
out of character, napalm was invented in World War II.
Right on.
It's been
So
invented.
now, when one of the locals was asking why we're so keen to burn stuff up, I and Nick, having served in multiple wars, would say that better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Looking at that gas canister on the farm and wondering if it would fit in the back of the truck.
It's not a canister; it's a tank, literally.
Tank. It's probably not
That was
possible.
it.
50 to 100-gallon tank.
That's what, 500 liters or something? That's half a ton of fuel. That'll go in the back of a ute.
Okay, so Dr. Winston Carmichael, obviously, with the chitin, obviously Sarah's says it looks like tarantula. Basically, with your research, the best you can come up with is it looks like the closest thing you can find is it appears to be some sort of mutated strain of the Mexican tarantula.
Brachypelma hamorii.
Bam!
Bless me. Sorry, that wasn't Bob. That was the doc.
Yes. Oh, who's got a military background?
Yep.
Yep.
Make a
Bob
common
and Nick.
knowledge. Make a common knowledge roll. You might need a raise on this
Oh, Nick to save the day.
one. Oh. You both seem to hit. You both seem to recall you might have heard rumblings. No pun intended. Of rather large spiders before, but unfortunately, you can't put exactly anything.
And be careful if it's tarantulas. They have bifurcated hair, which they can actually throw, and that the hairs are actually far more irritating than the bite of the spider itself.
Urticating city.
I say we're talking tarantulas that are bigger than a dorm room, or in fact bigger than 5 dorm rooms put end to end. I don't think it's going to really matter if their bite is slightly less biting. It's they like
The force is the danger here.
You
The
can
size of the
probably-
force.
you can probably chew us up anyway.
I mean, if it's 100 foot wide, I reckon one of those legs is probably going to be able to end us.
Well, I'm just telling you, watch out for the hairs because they're really
I guess
irritating.
we got some soldier guys with us.
They're worse than poison ivy, and they can. Well, these are probably going to be really big hairs for like embedding in skin, but they'll still be really irritating.
Okay. Nick has run off somewhere for a moment.
He was supposed to be MacGyvering together a flamethrower.
Yep. He's obviously gone to grab some parts.
He obviously has gone to grab some parts. In the meantime, but basically, you notice. Let's have some notice checks then. No one wants to go off to the woods, and I can't say I blame. I wouldn't even begin to want to pronounce that. Someone else who's braver than me can give it a try.
Phonopelma gigantus.
What the
Sounds like an old Korean hoe I knew once.
Okay, Jeannie. Oh, and Sarah. It's obviously. I mean, it's obviously the ladies are rocking today. Basically,
Sarah's the brains of the operation.
evidently. You both notice. Both of you notice that someone just said. I didn't notice that someone said, "Let the bennies flow." Interesting. Just after Jiminy vanishes, someone says, "Let the bennies flow." I'm noticing this sort of.
Well, that pattern
thing.
is never that we've never seen that pattern before.
No, definitely not. But someone says it, so we know the rules. I have to let the bennies flow. even if it means no one ever dies in horror one shots. It's ridiculous. I should put in a new rule in horror one shots. So that... anyway,
Been trying to split the party.
I know. Basically, Jeannie notice. Basically, you both notice something that looks like sort of metal glinting in the wreckage of the side of the stockyard, and basically, as you wander over, you realise that it appears to be a rifle. Looks like an army rifle.
I'm gonna dash ahead and make sure I get hands on that first. Give it a dust off. Pull back the slide. Dust out some crunt. And identify it as an M1 Garand, just like I used in Korea. And coincidentally, I have a magazine and a couple of rounds in my pocket.
So it sounds like
it could be belonging to the chap whose house we investigated earlier.
Okay. About this point, stumbling out of the woods comes Officer Hewley, who's basically obviously trying to follow stuff up. He has some sort of list in his hand, and he goes, Seems like there was some strange stuff happening out here last night. I can't find Hank anywhere, and according to the records here, one of the cattle are missing.
These farmers, I tell you, if they could just keep hold of their cattle for one damn night. I'm starting to get the heebie-jeebies. I'm going to load the M1 and just sling it over my shoulder and keep it sort of semi-ready.
I pat you on the back. Thank you for protecting us.
I got your back.
Okay.
Kurt goes to get his rifle out of the truck.
Okie dokie.
Well, Jeannie's not paying any attention to any of that because she's searching around here. She wants to find one of these giant bifurcating hairs. That's got to be interesting.
I say, don't worry. I think we're gonna probably find a whole bunch of them on something moving.
They have to be somewhere. They shed them. They can shoot them from their, like spray them. I mean, they should be everywhere. That's how they protect their nest and.
Oh God,
Okay.
there's a net.
I know everyone's
we're
like
not gonna
obsessed
get
by
that.
spiders, but have we seen any evidence of a giant spider yet?
There was chitin discovered, wasn't there? Either that or we've got a whole lot of arachnophobia going on.
Someone's probably got Doubting Thomas, I suspect. Okay, so given that based on all the evidence you've come up with, you are looking for an enormous. The evidence you've gathered seems to indicate there's an enormous spider on the loose somewhere near Greenfield.
And
No
if we can
evidence-
find the eggs, burn those too.
No evidence exists that this spider has attacked humans yet, although Hank Milson is missing.
That counts as evidence.
And we thank him for his contributions towards our arsenal.
But you know that he is capable. But you know this creature, this spider, is capable of devouring sheep. And according to the records, now it looks like it's now taken a bull,
Which is much bigger than us.
Yeah. Which obviously means humans are certainly viable food source for this creature, if not already, then in the future. Also, you do have obviously scientific evidence that of chitinous material that indicates tarantulas, but the tracks. But given the size of this thing, obviously that's rather worrying. I mean,
Yeah.
Officer Hewley
Bob's looking to the scientists here and saying, "Hey, can you guys get us confirmation on this?"
Officer Hewley takes us. It seems to have a more conservative view. He knows that he's sort of going like he's keeps sort of making it quite clear that Bear Brock really wants to avoid a scene at all costs.
Officer
A
Hewley
formal
reminds
government
me of the
inquiry
sheriff
about a
in
giant
Jaws.
spider would be apparently apparently he's obviously been on the phone at Hank's house, because apparently he comes out saying apparently a possible government inquiry about a giant spider would be an tremendous embarrassment for the city if it were inaccurate. So we've got to be sure before we do anything.
If it's accurate, it's probably not going to make your city too popular either.
Later in the day, a report comes in that Tappett's been shooting at anybody who comes near his farm. He seems to be shooting anything that moves. It seems that he's determined to kill whoever's absconding with his sheep. The whole town, there's definitely some levels of paranoia setting into the town, and the Officer Hewley's going, what are your plans? What are we going to do here? At which point Hewley gets has to drive off with a report of some panic out in somewhere else in town. So he says, "I'll be back as soon as I can." What's your plan? What you've got to do, if nothing else, is find it. If nothing else, just to prove that's what you're dealing with, because you could all be mistaken.
Well, that's what
Maybe
Jimmy
a
said.
hoaxer with great experience in spiders, creating an imitation giant spider hairs and imitation giant spider tracks, and destroying buildings and kidnapping people just to make it look like it's a giant spider.
Indeed, yes, yeah. Well, let's be
No,
honest.
I'm being sarcastic. I'm just trying to tell you, if you say it that way, you see how ridiculous it sounds.
My M1 solves a range of problems.
Did you just lose somebody?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we did.
Maybe a bystander.
Oh no, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Okay. I'm just miscounting. So basically, it would appear. Well, what? So, in that case, okay. If you don't want to prove or disprove your theory, what are you going to do to deal with it? That's the question, I suppose.
I think proof or disproof is going to come along without us having to do it.
Jeannie, being a kid, has been wandering all over the place looking for evidence of spiders because, sorry, with the way they shed hair, there's got to be evidence around here somewhere.
I've just
Nick,
realised
how are
it-
you getting on with that
If we
napalm?
do survive this, I want a souvenir. So does anybody have a camera? Polaroid.
I've got all the materials I need to make.
I have a
make
camera.
Sweet, we've got the truck that we can stick it on. Yeah. So if it does materialize to be 100-foot wide spider, military tactics dictate truck at high velocity to spider carrying a vat of napalm. But this is all hypothetical at this point until the heads confirm spider. Proper
Okay.
planning and preparation and all that.
So the question comes in: how do you want to try and track down the spider?
It's making these big tracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Seems
go and
like
find
a
spider.
starting point.
Okay. So basically, you're going to take the.
Tracks.
Yeah, I mean, Hank's got a pickup truck. You can see it's still there. The keys will be in the house. So with that, the car won't do it, but you could. It'd be slow going, but you could follow the tracks. Over the with pickup trucks.
Can we take 2 vehicles, so
Hmm.
personnel in the one, and load up the highly flammable equipment in the back of the pickup?
Indeed.
Yeah. Any skill rolls needed there? Any engineering or technical abilities or?
Well, I want to see the. I want to see. Obviously, someone. I think someone was MacGyvering up some sort of flamethrower, weren't they? So we need some repair rolls on that one.
Yeah, that was my one-legged bandit Nick. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I mean, I can make it. I can make one in the middle of a fight if I have to, don't I? So
Yeah,
Better to be
you might want to do it now.
prepared.
I can prepare it. I can do it now if you want.
Go for it.
Yeah, he's gonna need a hand with the heavy lifting. He's only got one leg, bless him.
Oh, good. You can help him, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm in.
no
I'm in.
problem.
I'm going to go for getting a raise on that so I can get the. I did get a raise, didn't I? Yeah.
Because you
Good.
managed to fix it.
Oh,
Okay,
he
nice.
pulls off his leg and uses it as a crowbar to lift it into the back of the vehicle.
I say you can use my umbrella handle. You don't need to use your leg for that.
I didn't use my leg. No.
Coincidentally,
Okay,
I do have a crowbar.
I will put the flamethrower on the party tracker because I don't know who's planning on using it. So it's in the party sheet for whoever takes it. It's got 10 shots. That's your lot.
I envisage this thing sort of being vehicle mounted.
Okay, then I need some tracking checks if you're going to track it by vehicle.
Is tracking a skill?
Survival.
Survival, sorry. Tracking is the old name for it. It's now survival. Okay, right. So, it's giving okay. Tracking the gone through it, given enough time. You eventually tracking check takes several hours of searching during daylight, which is fine. So, okay. It's basically quite late. It's mid afternoon as you've been following the tracks all day long. It's slow going, and it's about this time. One of you suddenly thinks maybe we should have asked if someone had a crop duster, but not to worry. But that's okay. You find yourselves up you've been following the tracks, and after a while, you find yourselves near a small stream. I find I finish this up. Basically, yeah, we'll basically say we'll find you near a small stream, like that. So there's menu, add to tracker, these, trucks, vehicles. Trucks. Oh, no, only semis. Oh, I should have loaded. I know what I need to load. I need to load the vehicle one, don't I? Trade vehicle guide. That I'm sure that have a pickup truck in it. This is a good old fashioned. This is a good old fashioned Suede adventure with no maps or anything. I'm just making up as I go along. Okay. There's a pickup truck, and there's another pickup truck, and then I'm going to go to assets, tokens. See if I've got a pickup truck. I don't. Let's just time. Yeah, there we are. There's a truck. So that could be truck 1. That could be truck 2. Good. And they need to be friendly. And I just need to see how big they are to make sure they're not the right space. They should be size 2. Map. There we go. Okay. So we'll put the pickup truck. We'll park up the pickup trucks on the side of the map here. Lets me actually put them on. Nice. I'll let you be side by side, and then we'll get the whole party on the map as well. You're following the tracks, and at this point they seem to vanish, and you're not sure if they've disappeared into. It's possible that the tracks have disappeared into into the water and have gone to the other side, but you haven't been able to confirm that yet. And yeah. So it looks like someone's been doing some hunting, but that's because that's part of the map and not there for what I'm. But it's all I have.
I know you just drew this quickly just now, by hand.
Yeah, indeed. Evidently. Oops. Okay. Can I? Okay. At which point, yes. You suddenly hear something disturbingly close by. Something it starts emerging from out of the trees.
Lovely.
Holy shit. It's growing, goddammit. 100 feet. Yeah, that looks about the right scale. Ooh, yeah. Contact front.
Okay, now you have to turn on the combat tracker yourselves these days, and you do that on the very right hand side of the top. There's a pair of cross swords. Turn on the combat tracker, you will be able to see what cards you've been dealt. Now, if you don't like the card you've been given, you can use. And it's actually vehicles on hold. They should
Kid's going first.
Cross swords here. It says target enemy units.
Sorry?
It does. You're looking in the wrong spot. If you look in the side, if you look in the sidebar under tool.
I see.
Yep. So that's that basically opens up the combat tracker. That will then let you see what cards you've got. So initiative in Savage Worlds, because I've just remembered someone who doesn't know what to do, is card based. So the better the card you've got, the better you go. Some skills and edges will give you better cards based on it. if you don't like the card you've got, you can just drag a Benny and drop it on your card, and you will be dealt another card. No guarantee it's a better card, but you will be dealt another card if you want. You can do that at any time. Bennies can be spent at any time. Players have Bennies, not characters. The only time you need to tell me that you're doing it is, of course, if you jump above where we currently are on the combat tracker, because I don't want you missing out on your turn unnecessarily. So anyway, the spider comes out from the trees, and yes, I think Nick's already done one. I need everyone to make a fear check because
Okay, I've got to do it because it's my hindrance.
Well, actually, what actually has to happen is when it comes to fear checks, Jeannie has to do it first, because if she fails, she's a screamer and she applies penalties to everyone else's fear checks.
Okay, how do you make a fear check? Is that like vigor or spirit?
It's a spirit.
Roll.
It's spirit.
Just type roll fear.
Or type
/ roll fear.
Yeah.
/ roll fear.
Yep.
Or just make a spirit roll. It's just as easy.
But then it won't go to the fear table if you fail, will it?
And Jeannie didn't fail, so
That's absolutely fine.
Okay, I'm gonna Benny this.
Be my guest.
Yeah.
It's only bad news if you critically fail. If you fail, a fear check is not a roll on the fear table. It's a terror check is a roll on the fear table. A fear check is only a terror check if you critically fail, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, then I shouldn't have done that.
Well, no. But if you
I
fail,
failed
obviously, if you fail, you do suffer an effect of basically -1 to all trait rolls. Yeah. Because you're afraid.
Yeah, Bob had some flashbacks of the Korean War seeping in there, so decided to burn a Benny and re-roll just for the sake of pride.
So is Sarah the only one who failed her fear check at the end there?
I re-rolled, so
you re-rolled and made it. I apologise. Thank you very much. Okay, so it looks like Jeannie's going first on the.
And Jeannie's curiosity got the better of any fear she might have felt, so she's going to go running into the trees to get closer to it.
Oh, the other thing I would suggest is if there's on those 8 icons at the top on the right hand side, the last sort of diagonally opposite the combat tracker is one called Options. If you click on that, I heartily recommend you scroll down a bit till you see Auto Center on Map and turn it off, because I personally find it very annoying the way the map moves all over the place just to center on the person whose initiative it is. You might want it to do that, but I personally I'd like to turn that off. Anyway, Jeannie runs straight towards the 100-foot tall spider.
Looking into the trees, because if it shoots a web, it'll get tangled in the trees.
Good call. Okay.
And that'll be her turn.
I do believe I can't use the shortcut.
Have we ever seen any webs around?
Actually, you haven't. Which is interesting, isn't it, thinking about it?
Are we
also, spiders have
a 100-foot spider coming out of the trees, or
spiders
still in doubt?
360-degree vision, so by hiding in the trees, it makes it harder for him to spot me. So.
It can cast webs from its thorax, though. Yes. Anyway, Bob, what you up
it's
to?
Me. Right. My instinct is saying, like, take a knee, load around, and start opening up on this thing, but I think I'm just gonna piss it off. Is there any cover nearby? These I guess the vehicles.
There's 2 trucks. They still look too small. Let's make them bigger. There we go.
which for the sake of reference, which one is mounted with the flamer?
The green one.
Green one. Okay, cool. Nick, are you okay to drive with that leg? I mean, they're automatics, right? Big old F50 trucks.
Yeah, of course I can drive. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, look, buddy, I'm gonna open up on this thing. Maybe I can do a 2-action thingo and move off to the waterline a little bit, and then open up on it with the M1 to
Moving's a free
buy me
action, so
some
you're okay on
time.
that. Moving is a free action, so you're okay on that score.
Okay, do I just click and drag
It's
my
also-
token?
It's up to the up. You can move up to your pace. It's also worth pointing out to people who play Savage Worlds before. Moving is a free action, which means it's not none of this move, attack, move, or anything like that. You can do what you like anytime while moving, which makes sweep incredibly dangerous, as people have worked out.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
yes, sweep's amazing.
Okay.
With an automatic rifle.
No,
Yep,
just
especially with an automatic rifle. Yeah.
Okay, Bob, you are going to shoot the Aphrodoptema Giganticus.
Okay, I'm good at shooting. Let's do that.
And if you ki-
Oh, he says just stand by one squad, Bennying that.
You can't Benny
you
a critical.
you
What?
cannot Benny a critical failure.
My goodness. Okay, right. Can't Benny a. He says.
The
Yeah.
M1 jams. It's obviously
Of course it
was
does.
obviously
Of course
damaged when it obviously was damaged when it was dropped earlier on. Kurt, you're up.
That's probably all for the best. Looks heroic. Didn't piss it off.
He went to give it a headshot, and the gun went.
Kurt,
Can I shoot and then move?
you can. There's no such thing as shoot then move, if that makes sense, because moving is a free action, so you can do anything you like while moving because moving is a free action.
What's our
Yeah.
movement range?
It's your pace. So if you look on your character sheet, you'll probably have a pace of 6, but you can also do something. You can also run, which is if there's a little D6 on your pace. If you want to run, you roll that, and that's the amount it adds to your pace. But running does apply penalties to everything else you do. Likewise, you can perform up to 3 actions in a turn. The first act, if you perform 1 action in a turn, remembering that moving is a free action, it's a straightforward roll. If you want to perform 2 actions, both of the actions are at -2. You want to perform 3 actions, then all the actions are at -3. Running also applies a -2 penalty, so it can get a bit complicated. Fantasy Grounds does it all for you. So what do you want to do? And then we'll work out how to do it.
I want to take a shot
Yep. With your camera or with a weapon?
with my hunting rifle.
Scientist.
You can photograph dead spiders, so.
Okay. Yep. You just want to take a single shot. That's fine. Just a straightforward shooting roll. Okay. This is going to be a very accurate shot. I can tell you now because you only, So basically, you only need ranged attacks. You normally only need a 4 to hit with ranged attacks, which is what makes them quite dangerous. However, if you do get more than 4 over the target, you get a raise. So basically, that means you've done a really good shot. So you do extra damage, which Fantasy Grounds will do automatically for you. What you need to do now is roll your damage for your hunting rifle. Fantasy Grounds will roll the extra damage automatically for you. Now, if you're not happy with 8 points of damage, you can always re-roll. You can re-roll. However, the spiders shouldn't have toughness. Work out what that mistake is. By all means, roll.
So can I re-roll that with a Benny?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And
Carefully
Don't you
drop
need
it on
to
the
have-
damage roll again. Make sure it goes
Don't
on
you
the
have to
damage.
have some special skill to re-roll damage with bennies?
You don't anymore. It used to be you used to have no mercy edge, but in Sway, the no mercy edge is you get +2 to your damage roll when you re-roll damage. But okay.
Okay, yeah. The group I'm in is still using the old rules then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie dokie. It should have toughness 24. So I'm afraid. Okay, so you basically you shoot it and you do 8 points of damage and 10 points of damage with your hunting rifle. Good shots. And they don't. It doesn't appear to affect the spider at all. Spider's got toughness of 24. You need to do 28 points of damage before you can even potentially hurt the spider. Just hinting things there.
Okay. I want to move into the trees and take cover.
Be my guest.
And snap a
You need to
picture
get
if I
into the
can.
truck. Yep. You can do that next turn, certainly. Yep. So, yep, move into the trees. They need to run away.
All right. Well, the doc looks at you guys like shooting at this thing and thinks, we can probably coax it into some sort of a trap, or at least coax it to sleep or into a resting spot to make it vulnerable, or distracted, I guess, at some point. And so he's going to use all of his smarts and his academics against this spider, and see if he can make it a little less threatening.
Okie doke. Do you wish to make it distracted or vulnerable? It's going next.
Going next.
$11 versus 7 gets you the shake. Distracted or vulnerable?
11 versus 7 gets them both, doesn't it?
No, it means you got a shake. You shake it, and your choice of distracted or vulnerable.
Okay, got it. Well, I guess I would want it distracted since it's going next, so it whiffs on its trait rolls.
Exactly. This. Oh, Shane Hensley says you should distract it. He's going to eat someone. I feel honoured. Mr. Hensley's watching. Okay, it's next. It recovers from being shaken, I'm afraid to say. Bad news for you guys. It's its go. Okay. What's it
Genie, get back here!
What it's going to do is it is going to move. It's going to advance out to here. It's then going to distract me slightly because off. There we go. That's fine. Okay. It then basically lifts up its thorax towards you all and fires its webbing.
Ugh.
That is accurate. Okay, so you are. Okay, so that is entangle time as you are.
So there's somebody with holding a fire like in the with the flamethrower, or do you not actually have a fire until it turns on?
He didn't go for the flamethrower. He just fired his rifle and it jammed, if you remember.
Yeah.
And actually, the truck's also entangled. At which point, having webbed you all up, it starts moving back into the trees towards the little girl.
I mean, this is acceptable.
Hey,
Small sacrifice.
Can I break out of this entangled?
You can. Actually, the distracted roll, the shooting should have been -2, but I'm going to be evil and I'm going to have to retcon that and I'll spend a penny by the shooting roll again. I don't know why it didn't factor in the fact it's distracted. It must be the wrong one I'm looking at stat wise.
Hey, squad buddy, are you sure you don't want to unentangle, make your way back to the vehicle, and ram that bastard's legs?
We get untangled first, don't I?
Yeah, fair enough.
What's that, an athletics roll?
Oh, you know why I forgot to apply it. Mind you, this is taking me. I taking me an awful lot. Do you know what? This may well actually have to be totally retconned, and that you're not webbed at all. Come on! There we go. I was determined to get that. Only cost me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bennies.
Yeah, good. You didn't spend your benny so that you can not have any. Then we can win. We're all heroes. We're supposed to all survive, apart from the little girl who gets eaten.
Okay.
Little girls
So,
usually the most likely to survive.
Okay, Nick, you are webbed.
What have I got to do? Athletics or what is it?
You basically can. Well, you got a choice. You can either do strength roll at -2, athletics to try and break free, or you could, if you can do 7 points of damage with a bladed weapon, you can cut yourself loose.
And I have not got a bladed weapon, so I'll just do the athletics. I think.
Okay, straightforward athletics roll. Off you go.
I'm gonna do the blow the dice. No, I have to benny that. I didn't blow hard enough. You son of a cheese. Okay, I'm stuck. I can't get out of these blooming webs.
Okie dokie. That gets us to last but no means least, Sarah.
And I'll pass my turn.
Oh no, I'm just moving everyone to keep things going. Shush.
There's a pickup truck that has to go, right?
No, they should have been on hold. They didn't need to be in initiative if someone jumped in them.
Okay, well, I'm sort of stuck here, so I'm going to try to use athletics.
Be my guest.
Yeah, actually sort of swipe at it with my...
Why do
I don't
players
know
never
why
run
I
away
have
when
an
they
umbrella, but I guess I assumed it might rain.
Protect you from webs, no?
Do you want to Benny that?
Yeah. How much did I need to? Yeah, you said 7.
You'll need a 6. Basically, you'll need to succeed. You need a 4, but because you're entangled, there's a -2 penalty, so you need to roll a 6.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, so you break free of the webbing, so you can move. But that's about it this turn, if that makes sense, because it was like it took your whole turn to took you the whole 6 seconds to get free of the webbing, but you can certainly move. Why are they not getting in the trucks and running away? Okay. New round. Let's see what we get on the second round. Got a joker, which means everyone got bennies. You lucky fellows. Kurt, you're up.
Where is the flamethrower right now?
I believe it's in the back. Oh, Nick just got a joker, so everyone gets more bennies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Mr. Hensley's watching, so the bennies will go all over the place. Otherwise, you'd get a lecture on the Benny economy.
Yeah, see, yeah, exactly. Shane's here, so he's making us get bennies. Yeah. Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, and Shane, if any chance you get to send him a little email explaining the Benny economy to him, it would be very helpful.
Where is the flamethrower?
Green
On the green
In
truck.
the green truck. Just for a point of reference, that's its range.
Okay, so it's mounted on the truck?
His response is right on. So obviously,
Is the flamethrower in the back of the truck, or is it mounted on the truck?
Someone decided to mount it on the back of the truck, they said.
Yeah. This is a vehicle mounted. Yeah, think of napalm tank sort of thing, but a little bit more agile. But thinking about this, I go after Nick, who is after you now, Kurt.
I'm going to jump in the front.
Okay.
Okay. So
And
then you're going to
drive
need a gunner.
Forward. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to drive forward into range.
How far?
Cool.
How far do you want to go? 4 inches?
Let's
Go up
go
to 12.
5 inches.
You can go up to 12 inches without having to make a driving check.
Yeah, that looks close. Based on my calculations, that's close enough to hit the spider.
Okay.
Can Nick make it to the vehicle as a gunner with his peg leg? Because I'm planning on hopping into the white vehicle and taking this bastard out at the legs to at least pin it to one
Yeah, of
place
course you can.
so that you can get a good shot on it with that
Can I-
flamethrower.
Can I do this? Can I get in the front and hold my move until Nick jumps in the back?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Anything that makes the game more fun, why not? I should ask him if he wrote that Dark Sun book. Oh yes.
All right, then that's what I will do.
No, I'm serious about that because
Yeah,
I
I
saw
know.
that on the Earth, air, whatever the elements were. There was a Dark Sun book that was written by looked like by Shane Hensley, and I was just curious if that was actually the same one and the same.
Well,
It
see
will
if
be,
he
yeah.
answers. Yeah, I think it is, but we'll see if he answers. Okay, so Kurt, you jump into the truck and basically drive it forwards. Nick, you're up.
I'm
Go on
still
hold.
entangled, aren't I?
You are.
Okay, athletics. Okay, now I'm gonna. Oh, I think there's a bit of dust on my microphone that was interfering with the.
You successfully
Yeah,
break
that's
free
the
of the web.
distraction thing is completely different. That's because I'm
Exactly.
targeting.
Yeah, you break
And
free.
then I'm gonna.
The answer is yes, he did. Write it.
Oh, that's awesome because I've been converting doing the Dark Sun thing for
Indeed.
Pathfinder
doing
for
a
Savage
Savage.
Worlds and having
Yeah.
fun. So and I've been looking at the old source book. So cool stuff.
Okay.
Thanks for the book.
Nick, you jump into the back of the pickup truck.
Now, do I need to grab that gun and stick it on me? I think I do, don't I?
Probably yes. Yes, because I didn't mount it as a vehicle weapon. So yeah, go for it. I can't remember if I added in the Chill Helms extension.
There you go. I've now
technically,
got it.
Now, technically, you should have a multi-action penalty, but I'm having too much fun to pay attention to that, and you should have declared it before you break free. So just shoot it anyway.
Oh, I don't mind having a multi-action penalty.
The Love Dark Sun, I wrote City by the Silt Sea for it as well as some monsters. Worked on the Ravenloft line as well. I liked Raven.
Oh, well, right on. I'm having a blast exploring it via Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, and the players are loving it too. So, thank you very much.
I thought that was a crit fail you just done there, but it looks good. Okay, you've hit
Oh
the
no,
thought it
the
was
dice bounced.
The
Bincy
Roll.
dice.
As you basically roll for damage on the giant spider. Ooh,
Yeah,
That's a lot of damage.
it's a lot of damage.
28, right?
I might Benny that and see if I can get 87.
With 3 razors.
Ah, okay.
Ooh.
I'll take the
Oh,
28.
the double ones there.
I'll take the
Whiff.
28.
Are you able to take the 28?
Yeah, you
Or
can
is
pick the two of the one. You don't have to take.
Ah,
yeah.
cool. Okay.
Only if you get a crit fail, do you have to go? Oh.
Yeah, I'm good at shooting double ones.
Indeed.
And then I will pass my turn.
Right
I don't
on.
remember if
I'm-
flamethrowers get round heavy armor or not.
So,
It's a heavy weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's marked as a heavy weapon, so yeah.
Oh, of
Bob.
course, it's marked as a heavy weapon. So yeah, basically Shane says kill it with fire. So there you go. Okay. The spider basically is battered by the fire.
Yes.
how do we tell what its health is at? How's it doing?
Shane is off for brekkie, but he says good luck with the spider, kill it with fire. Okay.
Thanks for visiting, Shane.
Thank you. Anyway, what are you up to? Sorry. He apologized.
You'll see the wound. You should see the wound count in the tracker.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so Bob's feeling awfully sorry for himself. He's got a jammed weapon, he's entangled, and red in the face because, he's supposed to be able to shoot good and stuff. The plan is to unentangle himself and get into the other vehicle and then inflict some leg damage to the arachnid. So roll to unentangle. That is athletics, isn't it?
It is. You need a 6.
Oh, for flowers.
Whoa.
Oh wow, yeah,
Sometimes it's just not meant to be.
He's
yeah.
he hits himself in the nuts, I think. Yeah.
Bob is now,
PTSD is
Bob
creeping
is now
in,
prone,
and
flat on his back in the river.
uh, okay. I think that is about that, right? Can I
Yeah, that's
can
it.
I
That's
try and
it.
unjam my rifle while I'm on my
Nope.
back in the river? No.
Nope.
What about my ages of experience in the Korean trenches?
Well, your aged experience in the Korean trenches tells you that when you're like webbed up by a giant spider on your flat on your back with a jammed weapon in the river, you ain't going to be doing much. The spider, in the meantime, is going to run away.
Yeah, you run, you bastard.
It's technically just on the edge of the map, but it's running into the woods. Trees are crushing everywhere through it and everything, but it's running away.
Did we try diplomacy with this creature first, or did we just open up on it?
You just opened.
I
up.
tried diplomacy
Big
with it.
spider.
It's still within sight, right?
The doc
It
tried
is.
diplomacy.
It is.
I pick up a branch off the ground and I go running up behind it and whack it in one of the back legs as hard
That's
as I
it. Poke it with a stick, kid.
That's the plan. Whack it in one of the legs with a stick.
No, come
I
back.
don't have a stick, so what do you need me to do here?
Just what have you got weapon wise?
It's an improvised weapon, right?
Yep.
So
That would be melee. That would be strength plus the 4. And then when you equip it, it should be on the combat tab. Here you go. You've got a big stick. You hit it. Roll for
and I
damage.
whack it in the back leg with a really hard whack.
Go for it.
Probably piss it off.
Probably.
Oh, I got lots of bennies. I'm gonna hit it one, try one time to improve that.
Go on then. I have to manually turn on the raised dice.
Oh, I forgot to turn on the raised dice.
It's okay.
Probably wouldn't have helped much anyway.
Hit it with a big stick.
No, didn't work anyway. So just whacked it in the back leg. Didn't do any damage. Probably pissed it off.
Hey, Sarah's up.
First thing I do, I yell, "Do you have any common sense?" And coming from Sarah, that's sort of funny. But
Indeed.
get away from that thing. It's gonna kill you.
I want to get one of them hairs.
I'm sure it left some behind. I point to the ground, which may or may not actually have any hairs on. I say, "See, look here." Come
Oh,
back
stop
here and
being
get-
such a girl. Stop being such a girl.
Okie dokie. Do you wish to do?
I'm not
obviously
doing
talking-
anything.
Okay, no, because obviously
anything else
arguing
other
is a
than-
free action, if that makes sense. Okay, Dr. Winston Carmichael, you are entangled. You cannot move, and your daughter seems to be chasing after a 100-foot tall spider with a
Now,
big stick.
since I didn't do anything other than argue, could
Yes.
I help him untangle?
Yes, most certainly. Yep. Make an athletics roll, Sarah.
Okay.
Although you'd have to move back, obviously, but you can do that.
Hold on. Where's my? Here we go.
A 5 would give you a +1. So yeah, you did need the reroll anyway. Yep. You basically, the two of you break between the two of you, Dr. Winston Carmichael breaks free of the webbing. Next round.
Oh, I spent a penny on that. I didn't hear what he was doing, but yeah.
No, you needed to anyway because your first roll was a 3, but to get the second roll was a success. Okay, Doc, you're up first. The The spider does look like it's leaving. It's in pain and it's leaving.
Okay, so I'm gonna again try to use. I've been researching these spiders in my portable library, and I've classified it. Maybe I get a +1 because I use my library, but I would like to use my research roll to try to coax it to calm itself down because I really want to study this thing.
And then we follow it.
Okay, go for it. I'm going to say, unfortunately, it's not going to stay. But however, you do get value. You do analyzing it and seeing how it's reacted to the fire and everything. You will get some stuff. It's, to be honest, it isn't going to stay because basically, party's going to try and kill it, and obviously that it's not going to hang around for that. But
Okay, but is it now? Is it shaken and vulnerable and all that?
Do you want to make it distracted or vulnerable?
Lineup. I want to make him vulnerable so that my colleagues can have fun trying, because I know they're going to try and kill this thing. So
Okie dokie.
he's shaken and vulnerable.
He's shaken and vulnerable. Sarah Howell, you're up.
Trying to figure out how to scroll this map here. Here we go. I see it now.
Yeah. I'm trying to let it escape, but anyway, I'm not. If you kill it, you kill it. But
yeah, I have a Derringer which says the range is 3, 8, 3, 6, 12. So 12 would be long range. I take it.
Yeah, 12 would be long range, and that's 12 inches.
I take it it's also more than 12. And if I move towards it, would it get within long range?
Oh well, you can move 6 inches, and then if you want to move further, you can run, of course.
If I move 6, is it within 12?
It's extreme at the moment.
Of course. I'll run and I'll go a little. I don't know how much farther running takes me, but
it'll be 1d6, won't it? So if you're really lucky, you'll get a 2 or higher. So you just need to roll a d6 or double click on the d6 on the character sheet. I don't mind which. You just want to pick one up and roll it off.
I'm trying to click on this d6 and
that's okay. Just I'll there you go. I'll roll it for you. You got a 6. Oh, you got a 6. There you go. So you can move up to 6 more inches if you want to. Okay, that puts it at medium range, I think, 9, or maybe just still long range. But by all means, take a shot.
It was 3, 6, and 12. So
yeah, so it's still long range, but
chances are sort of low.
But it's huge, so you do get a benefit to shoot it. So go for it. Actually, I forgot. There's a run button. All you had to do was click on the run button. I apologise. But anyway, just make your shooting roll.
I'm trying to get my character back on screen here.
If you double click on your token on the tracker, I think.
Okay. I've got it now.
I know it's a bit. Takes some getting used to. Screen state is very important in running fantasy grounds. Okay, you hit.
I hit.
You do hit.
Okay.
And I'm aware there is no running penalty, but I don't care right now because this is a con game. So roll for damage.
So rolling for damage would mean doing.
On the combat tab, you should have a Derringer. where on the
You have
right
this
hand
thing
side.
with 2 dice on the end, but it
Yeah.
doesn't work. There, I guess it does work.
Yeah, apparently it's a very small area to click on. I've never noticed,
Yeah,
but obviously if you're not used to it, it's
Yeah,
very
I
disconcerting.
hit it. I didn't do 28 points of damage, so it's not hurt. But I yell, Genie, get back here.
Sounds good to me. Genie, you're up.
And you're gonna yell, "You ain't my mom!" And she's gonna whack it again.
Okie dokie. That's a hit with a raise. Roll for damage.
You ain't gonna hurt it. No matter what you roll, it ain't gonna hurt it. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's Jeannie she's playing. She's just a kid.
Exactly.
We can't let it get away. Pops wants it so he can study it.
Do we want to kill it, or do we want to? I mean, can we? I'm going to try driving the car. Actually, Kurt is driving, isn't he?
Kurt is driving,
Yeah,
so you
I
probably
was-
want to go on
Kurt,
hold.
drive, Kurt. Come off hold and do some driving.
Yeah, I want to follow it
Oh yeah.
through the
Kurt's on.
woods.
Okay. You can go 12 inches without
I'll
having
go on
to
hold,
make.
and then
Well, you could go 12 inches without having to make without having to make a driving check. So you can get to there, but you can go up to 24 inches if you want to, but that would require a driving check. But 12 inches gets you
Are
to
we
there.
within flamethrower range?
Yeah, you'll
if
be
it gets
within
there, you
flamethrower
are.
range.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trick will be the problem will be you're okay. You can flamethrower it and not Genie. Also, the fact that it's 100 feet tall means you could fire a flamethrower at a Genie, but obviously that isn't necessarily a good idea. Firing flaming napalm above the heads of friendly targets.
All right, I call out Duck Genie, and then let him have it, Nick.
And then I'll shoot it. I'll try not to hit Genie, but
Go for it. Oh, I forgot to roll to see if it caught fire last turn, didn't I? No, it didn't. You hit with a raise. Roll for damage. Oh, that's unfortunate.
this is not for this. I'm not having it. I'm going to
I'm
waste
doing
pennies.
almost as much. I'm rolling almost
Oh,
as good
yeah,
on my
yeah.
There's a 6 in there. There's another 6.
There we go.
Oh, it's going to be all sixes now. It's 87.
You know, I will point out yet again, you aren't thinking enough in terms of B movies, 1950s B movies. What you need to do really is get out of here and get the old stock footage in play. Can I have
Let's
common
find
knowledge
some
rolls for everyone?
trees.
I should have done
Benny
this
it,
soon.
Nick.
I can't Benny. All my Bennies are gone.
Okay.
Well, just
Bob?
go back into your Twitch chat and make them flow. Since when has that stopped you?
Bob, who's Bob? Bob. You've just remembered that I just need to do that. Then I need to just come back to the storyline and say, Bob, you've just remembered something interesting. Just an hour away in Colorado Springs is Ent Air Force Base,
Ooh,
including
Oh, so
including
that's the
supersonic
gimmick.
jets.
That's the gimmick. You want us to call in the air infantry, huh?
Has anyone got radio comms?
I'm just giving you the option, by the way. That's all.
An hour away, we could send us.
You said let the pennies. I already gave you one, Nick.
Oh, to roll the more damage, you mean? Is that?
Whatever you want to use it for. But I must admit, I wasn't. The point is, you meant to see it, realise you're not. You can't. Well, you can hurt it with a flamethrower, but yeah, not to worry. If you kill it, you kill it. I don't have a problem with that. But if you,
Oh, I think we leave it for the next. Yeah, we got to come back to it. We can't fight these giant crabs.
We
We
need
have,
a
to,
bigger
we have to get
boat.
to the chemist.
Okay. First things first, I need to un-F myself because yes,
The person with
entangled
the camera.
front.
take some pictures so you can show them to the army people?
Yes.
I will take some pictures.
Justify the airstrike.
Yes. Indeed.
Um,
To be
I'm
honest, you were
going
doing
to-
such a good job of hurting it. I wasn't going. I thought I might not need the Air Force option, but I'm going to.
I make sure that
And then
Jeannie-
there's this picture of a spider with this, this little kid next to it.
Eating it.
yeah, I make sure Jeannie's in there for size reference.
Yes, indeed.
Well, the trees are and such are some good size references anyway.
Okay, Bob, you are no longer webbed.
Oh, thank God for that. I don't think unjamming the rifle is any point at this time. I'm going to make for the vehicle and saddle up. Who's that? The dock is next to me. Okay.
Okay. If you want to, if you want to drive the vehicle, you can move it up to 12 inches without making a driving roll.
Okay. All right. Now.
I asked the army people, can you set up your vehicle so that it's going to explode, it runs into the spider, and you jump out just in time?
I think somebody was trying to get at that about an hour ago, like a napalm bomb attached to a vehicle that we drive into it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm still thinking drive into the spider's legs and try and disable it, and then flame it with the other vehicle. But are we still sure that we want to kill this thing? We want to fry this bastard?
Heading back into the forest, chasing it by vehicle would be tricky.
If we're gonna
Okay,
call
I'm
in-
thinking napalm strike. F4 Phantoms, let's
Ooh.
frickin' go. Who's got comms, or do I need to start driving back to an Air Force base?
That reminds me, someone made a ridiculously good research roll earlier this round, didn't they?
Yes.
Ah, right. Oh, Spider Gonzo disconnected.
It just crashed. I'm loading it up again.
That's okay. That's fine. I got worried for a second there. Basically, having watched how it reacted to things and everything else, I would point out, Miss Dr. Carmichael, that something does occur to you that maybe you could get away with using the chemicals the crops dusters spray out. You get the distinct impression that might have an effect on it and make it weaker, or you could just call in the Air Force, of course. But it might be useful. But you think actually the insecticides in cross dusters may have an effect upon this creature for future reference. But anyway, it's a fairly moot point because on this go, what actually happens is the spider remains shaken, but being shaken doesn't stop it moving, and it heads. It basically, you drive the spider off into, and you can see it heading into a box canyon.
Come back here, you chicken shit.
It heads into a canyon. Is this a place where we can set off a landslide onto it?
No, but it probably makes it easier. It's probably if you could basically get call in a strike or something, you could probably ensure with the flamethrower hurts it, so you could probably keep it trapped in there and call the Air Force in, or get a crop spreader. It's up to you which way you want to go. Does anyone have
We
pilot?
load a crop sprayer up with gas or petrol from the farm's tanker.
Yeah, but it's your call which way you want to go. But
if you're going to do that, I'll try to convince them that we're not actually, thieves.
I think at this stage the village is on our side, dude. Like, there's a 100-foot spider.
Well, now you've got photographic evidence, but you'll have to get back to town to show that off. That's the only thing.
So what do we reckon, Poddy? Are we going to let this thing retreat into the forest and then regather our efforts?
If we go after it, weaken it, and kill it, we can probably study it. But if we call in the army, they're of course going to take it away after they've killed it.
If it kills you, you're not going to be able to study it.
It should be pointed out that you surprised the spider, and so far it hasn't other than webbing you, it hasn't acted hostilely. there. But if you keep pressing the attack, it may well turn quite unpleasant. So I will point that one out.
Spiders
I
can't
say-
fly.
I say, do we even know that this is the only spider there is? There could be a nest. Maybe this is a baby, and there's a big one that's 100 feet long.
What's your plan?
Are we going to? I think we should follow the spider. Is what I think. Find out where it's hiding.
Do their plan.
Who's the boss? The
Doc,
I mean,
the
that
Doc.
is
Where is
interesting.
Doc?
They'd find its nest. Yeah, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, there
Okey-dokey.
might be eggs.
Where does
I'm
it
gonna say,
retreat
if-
to?
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with whichever way you want to go.
Dr. Winston, come on. Where are we going?
Who's got the highest initiative here?
Dr. Winston is. He's the boss.
Well, basically,
Oh, yeah.
what I'm trying to say is headed into the forest. I mean, obviously, it's smashing through trees and stuff, but it's heading over really. It's headed into down a canyon and up the other side. So following it in the vehicles is probably not an easy option, but you could probably navigate around. Yes.
Well, and Jeannie's been chasing after it because that's good research, and she's not going to let it get out of her sight if she can help it. So she's going to be following it because it'll.
Okie dokie. It sounds like the Air Force option is not required, so we're going to go doing it old school. Bloody.
We can call the Air Force in, but then if we find out
And
where
I'm-
it's based,
and
we
I'm
can get
and
the
I'm
Air
out of-
Force to.
And I'm out of
not
earshot
bothered.
for Pop, so he can't yell at me. So I'm
Have we
good.
got comms to?
You'd have to
an
go
air
back
base.
to town. You'd have to go back to town. Is the issue?
Okay.
You're going to have to go find Jeannie first.
Ah, do we?
Has Doc gone AFK?
I don't know.
Doc.
Has
Come in, Doc.
MacD, where are you?
He's copping Z's on his watch.
You gotta sleep, man.
Oh, court martial
MacD,
you.
wake up.
Typical management.
indeed.
The doctor's fallen off his ladder.
He might have lost his sound.
What's the vote then? Are we going after it, or are we going to regroup and?
So you're in the back of that vehicle. I'm in this vehicle. I'm
I'll
gonna
chase it through the.
Yeah, I need to pick up the Doc. Whatever happens, I'm gonna just get next to him, sling him in the back of the truck or the passenger seat. I know it's not my turn, but I think that needs to happen.
Maybe we should just go back to town and regroup.
Never leave a fallen man behind. I'm of the, at the same time that damn kid is a liability. There is a lot of value in knowing where that thing retreats to. Maybe we can.
Maybe we can, with this, if it's running back to his lair, maybe it will leave a better trail than it has
that could be
previously.
spotted by a spotter aircraft.
There may be eggs we have to destroy, or baby spiders, or if it's the baby spider.
Yeah,
Because it's
exactly.
never just
Yeah,
one, is it?
swarms of baby spiders eating us. That's what we're going to look forward to. So maybe
Yeah.
we need to regroup.
Tunnel warfare and all that.
Get Jeannie back in the car because she's just trouble. Jeannie, get your butt back in the car.
Damn
It's
refrigerator.
getting
hang on.
away. Don't you guys want to know where it went?
Damn it, kid! You get back here right now, or I'm gonna tan your hide.
We can find out later, Jeannie. Come on, it's too dangerous to chase it through the woods. Okay.
Well, she
Just
keeps
made
her
a map
stick
for that.
because we're going to whittle it into a sharp point. And
Just
make
made a map over for us chasing it.
Yeah.
Well, we can. We haven't. No,
No,
listen,
no,
if you
no.
want, we can
No,
do
it's
whichever
fine,
you
no.
want.
No, seriously, it's not a problem. I think basically the
How good is your map, though? Are you going to share it on the forums, or is it just
Well,
a hand drawn?
It's
This
one
is
of
a tree.
God's special maps.
this black squiggle here is a tree. This blue squiggle here is a cave. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so there you've done a proper map.
well, Heroic Maps made a proper map. I just basically put some trees in to hide the bad join. But anyway, right, if you want to chase it, I don't mind. If you want to chase after it, chase after it. We can definitely chase after it. I've got a map for the final showdown. So let's
Yo, Nick.
assume you chase after
Genie's
it.
chasing after it until
Let's
somebody.
chase it. We can't. We basically going to let Jeannie's going to have to dictate the thing. We've got. She's running. We've got to
Yeah,
go
follow
after
the
her.
kid.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's such a shame because the
Who's going to follow the kid on foot
the
while we
airport
dress
stock
drive?
footage scene is rather fun, but it doesn't matter. I'm really not bothered. So I'm going to drive.
Nick, is there a radio in your truck?
Genie's
No.
just a younger version of Willow. Willow always goes running up and
Someone's got to go after Jeannie. Someone on foot's got to go with Jeannie, and then some, and the rest of us can go in the car.
Well, Doc's going after Jeannie for sure. It's his kid.
He says with one leg.
I'm in the car. See, that's why I'm not going after Jeannie.
Fair enough.
No,
Fair
the
enough.
Doc's running after Jeannie.
Yeah,
Okie
get your
dokie.
kid. It was your idea to bring her along. You got us into this.
Okie dokie. Right.
You're
So,
gonna come along.
and I just need to put
No
the
way
giant
to
spider
avoid
back.
that.
Just need to put the giant spider back on the map. And actually, we should have done this as a chase, but too late. That's okay. Right. Let's see what happens. New round. Jeannie got a joker.
she's
So-
off after the spider. Can I get close enough to it to take another swat at it?
Okay. It would appear that Jeannie's runs incredibly fast. The rest of you, I'm just going to put you behind the
She's
vehicle.
got fleet-footed.
Go on then, Jeannie. You hit it.
She's going to kill it with a stick.
Well, she can't. But the
Spider's gonna get pissed off with her eventually.
No, it's not. It's
Well,
not even going to
I did
notice.
a Jenny at one time because
I'm
I
pretty
got
certain
more
it's not going to. No,
Like how
don't.
I got more
No,
Bennies than
Jeannie,
Tommies.
don't waste a penny. It doesn't matter if you roll 8,000. It's never going to hurt it because it's heavy armor. You need
Well,
a
if
heavy
you roll
weapon to hurt it.
8,000, it will.
It won't.
But I'm
Because
staying
it's
right
heavy
with
armor.
I'm not losing it.
If you get past 28,
No, it's heavy armor.
Yeah, to hit is not going to matter. but
No,
if you
it's heavy armor. No, it doesn't matter how much damage you do without a heavy weapon, it won't hurt it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that. So
That's what I'm
Jeannie's
saying.
involved. She don't care. She's getting a whack the
Yeah, but,
spider.
but the player knows not to waste pennies.
If
You're
you
up.
smack it in the spinneret, it's gonna sting it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe you got to do a called shot for its whatever you call it, spinneret. Yeah.
Spinnerets, Kurt?
Kurt, it's your go. Kurt's driving.
just-
No, Kurt.
I just wanted to be getting away to say negative command rockets just impacted upon the surface. It's like, I don't know if I get to.
Yeah, we're
Just
just
say it
driving.
anyway. Just say it, and just you hear on the
It's
radio
okay.
a strange
I
sound.
might, to be honest, I can always retcon it. The only problem is with
When
Jeannie's
was the
right next to it.
Roswell incident?
Anyway, no, it's really
I'm
cool.
just-
Go for it.
I'm driving to follow the spider.
Indeed, no problem at all. How close you want to get to the spider?
I want to
Alright.
stay just inside of flamethrower range.
Jeannie needs to get out of there, man, because she's going to get flamethrowed up.
Jeannie's not paying any attention to all the boring old adults.
Well, when the fire hits her, and she turns into a crisp.
Well, I just failed trying to rescue her, so
He turns into
Catch
a
up
dog. He goes
No
whoop.
problem.
Oh, here, Nick, I'll drive up to Jeannie. You grab her.
I'm just going to move up. I'm just going to, for argument's sake, I'm just going to say that's the grey truck. Sorry, Kurt was driving the green truck. There's
Green truck.
do I
the green
do I
truck.
persuade her to come back with the 13?
I'm gonna
well,
I'm gonna run up to her and try to grab her.
Because she's a player, you got to
Discipline your child, god damn it.
Well, also to the if we're being technically pedantic, you have just we are in combat tracker mode. It wasn't your go, and you haven't, and you did just critically fail your attempt anyway. So technically, you failed this turn. I'm just going to say Right, I'm not sure who's driving the other truck. I'm just going to have to put Nick and Bob.
I am,
in
I
the other
think.
truck. Yeah, I'm going to put Nick and Bob in the other truck. Then there we go. Okay, Kurt gets up to there. Do you want to try? Do you want to try side swiping the? You want to try side swiping the spider with the truck? You just need to make a driving check, Nick. It is huge, so you'll get a +4 bonus to it if you're trying to hit it. And I would argue.
Kurt's not trying to do that. He's decided we can't harm it right now. It's too tough.
Theoretically, hitting a spider with a truck would hurt it. Potentially. But you're just driving up. That's absolutely fine. Bob, you're basically you're pulling up. You're pulling up as well. Assuming.
Yeah. I'm busy thinking, and excuse the
Grab the girl by the scruff of the neck.
just stuff her in the back, handcuff her, like yeah, wrap her in a blanket and cable tie.
Okay, Doctor. I'm just going to be evil. Dr. Wilson, basically, and obviously, I'm going to have to. Well, from a narrative perspective, Jeannie's obviously running all over the place. Dr. Wilson leans out to try and grab Jeannie. Unfortunately, critically failed. And what actually happens is he falls out the truck. Who was firing the flamethrower? Bob was.
That would have. I think Nick was driving.
Yeah, so Bob was.
No, Nick's not driving. Nick's flamethrower.
No, I was driving the white one.
Exactly. Bob was in the right one. I just got myself confused. Okay, Nick. What do you want to do?
Well, okay, we got to stop the truck and grab Jeannie. That's what I'm going to do.
Well,
Jeannie gets to try to evade being grabbed, doesn't she?
No, because she knows me. I'm going to say, Jeannie, this is too dangerous. You need to get back in the truck. If that spider turns around, you are dead.
I'm getting myself confused. Bob is driving. Bob is driving. Nick is in the back of the flamethrower truck. I apologise. I got them the wrong way around. Nick's the technician, not the handyman. Okay. Do you want to fire the flamethrower while you're at it?
No, I'm going to get Jeannie. We've got to get her out of the truck and into somewhere safe.
I was going to
like
try
a
to
mail bag or something.
Go for it. So that'll bet you'll have to jump out the truck and try and grab her with an opposed athletics roll.
Sarah's going to try to grab her too. Like, what do we do for this?
Well, you can have a go after Nick fails,
yeah, okay.
Or Nick has to go and hold to wait for your help, if that makes sense. Well, Nick fails to grab her. Nick fails to grab her.
Oh, fast little kid.
Obviously, well, don't forget the fact it does a second reroll is because it's automated. You still have to beat her best roll, which is a 9. So I'm afraid you failed to grab her. At which point,
because I poke him with the stick when he goes to grab me.
Okay. At which point, the spider has had enough.
Yeah, now it's going to turn on us, and now we're all screwed.
And it's going to basically attack the pickup truck that keeps burning it, hitting it. Causing a wound upon the truck, which means, Kurt, you have to make a driving check, otherwise the vehicle goes out of control.
Click the little links, can't you?
You can click the little link. Well, no, that's the tables. You just have to make Kurt just has to make a driving check.
How do I make a driving check?
If you don't have the driving skill, you would have to do it unskilled. And you need a 4. Okay, it's going out of control. So the vehicle doesn't suffer any critical damage. And however, it spins and it spins.
Was I able to? Am I able to use bennies on that?
Yes, you are. Yeah, you can keep going if you want. The vehicle's going to spin and leave you distracted, as you're the only one in that truck. Oh, bad luck. Such a shame. That didn't sound sincere, but it was meant to be. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. I saw in the middle of all of that. Look, I don't know. You've obviously got something targeted somewhere from the past, so I'm not going to worry too much about it.
Yeah, I
You
think
s-
I still have that spider targeted.
That's absolutely fine. Okay, Sarah, you can jump. You can lean out the truck and try and grab
Actually, I was
Ginny.
assuming I was on the ground, but I guess I probably
Well, you can
couldn't
jump out
lodge
the
it.
truck. Yeah, you can jump out the truck and try and grab her. Of course, go for it. Make an athletics roll to try and grab Jeannie.
Okay, Benny.
You need at least a 4 for a success, and then of course it's opposed by her. Who's she's got the Joker bonus, so you think you've got her, but basically it's got to be proper. It's got to be proper movie style. You grab hold of her and you've got her, and the next second you just find you're holding her coat.
Okay, I'm Benny that again. Oh, come on.
This whole adventure derailed the second.
I can't
Okay,
even let a
I've
12-year-old
got
in.
lots of Benny, so I'm going to keep.
Go for it. Not to worry. As long as everyone's having fun, I don't care. I'm having.
Oh, come on. It's absurd.
Technically, she doesn't get to re-roll the 14 automatically, so that's the automation thing. So at the moment, she's still got a 5 and you got a 5, so you still haven't.
Okay, I'm instead of using athletics, I'm gonna use persuasion. I'm gonna say, look, if you've done your good deed for the day, you probably hurt the spider a little bit. You appeared on the picture so we can show the army the scale, and you are the only one next to the spider to show the scale. So you've done your stuff. Now you got to get away from it so we can handle it. Come on, you get back to us.
She technically doesn't have, being a player, she doesn't have to technically respond to a persuasion roll, but I will say it's up to her. With this, I thought it was a very cohesive argument. Bob, over to you.
All right. I am Bob Platt. I am in a vehicle pursuing a spider, which is not that threatening at the moment.
Well, he
They started attacking the other car, so it is
has
threatening.
Okay, right.
It's
It
not
is.
turned
It
him.
is
It hasn't
threatening.
turned it around yet, but it's turned around now.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
the
Ten
only
eyes
thing
looking
that's
at
saying
us.
is that it's
Much more
not
threatening.
more hostile than it.
Yeah, I should be treating
And it
this more as
was.
I should really have treated this more as a chase than a map. But so I'm going to treat it more as a chase than anything else. So it literally took a side swipe at the truck that Kurt was in, and he desperately managed to keep control of the truck. Which could.
So have we got this damn kid back on board yet, or is she still running
Nope.
amok?
No.
Okay. Well, there's what I can do to help that. So, driving a truck.
You got
Right.
who's got the driving skill? I'm sure one of you have the driving skill.
Yeah, I've
You
got
do.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Ramming speed.
Yeah, that
basically-
is exactly. You took the words out of my mind. It was ramming speed to rear legs.
for it.
And if I could get all 4 legs on the port side of the spider, left side of the spider.
I have targeted the spider. Make a driving check. Fortunately, the spider.
Hang on, it's cool. I have these magical coins.
You do indeed.
They were given to me by a Korean prostitute.
Oh, God. Please.
Did I win that time?
You've still
Got
got
to
to
beat
beat
the 8.
You've still got to beat the 8. Technically, we don't need to target
gotta
anymore
Beat the 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
because it's your best roll versus its best roll. It's a problem with the automation. I should turn off targeting on rerolls. That's what I
Okay.
always think.
Let's, so
always
basically,
forget to.
I have to get a raise, right? A 6 and a something.
Yeah,
That's cool.
or
I've
you
lost
just try
these
again
coins.
you try again next turn. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, we're running out. Haha. Oh no, that was a 5 and a 3. Why didn't that make 8?
Because it's a wild card, isn't it? And it picks the highest of the two.
Ah, right. Okay.
So I'm just moving
Okay,
everyone
so
down 'cause it's
the stunt driving did not work. This is not a Willis Jeep. And over to you, next player.
that'll be Sarah. She's basically. I mean, I think the easiest way to put it is Ginny's running along, going la la la. Can't hear you. I think.
Do you want to
is probably
sing
the
a
best way.
song and try and lure the child back?
Ooh.
I did the convincing, so
I'll tell you what. I'm going to be very, very
that
nice.
didn't work.
Because I'm going to be very, very nice because chase is taking considerably longer than I thought it would. Make a science roll because you're in the back of the pickup truck, aren't you?
Who?
Hint, hint. Sarah's in the back of the pickup truck, isn't she?
Oh, okay. Benny.
Oh, there's some very interesting stuff in here. Maybe you really need to. Yes, yeah, that's absolutely fine. You did it. Don't worry about the targeting thing. Okay. Right. What you notice? There's an interesting chemical in here. Noticed, and you reckon that basically, if you can spray enough of this chemical, it's in a high pressurized container. If you can spray enough of this chemical onto the spider, it will have an adverse effect upon it, which in game terms means it would actually remove its heavy armor.
Hey, look, a bug spray. Big bug. Come on, come on. I gotta be able to do this. I look at the thing and I say, well, I guess I can tell Dad I learned something this summer.
Indeed.
Okay. So what would I do now? Just
I
shooting
will. Have you right? So let's have a look what you've got.
I look at the other people in the car. I say, can somebody aim this better than me?
Basically, what you need to do is, well, you just need to. I'm going to be done. All you need to do is, with an athletics roll, throw this canister in the path of the spider so that it punches it when it goes off. And obviously, it's cinematic and all that. So all you need to make is an accurate athletics throw, which you do. So the net effect of that is basically it lands in front of the spider. The spider's running along as you're chasing after it. It's obviously heavily toggle heavy armor. It's obviously so heavy it crushes the can, which causes a thump of chemicals all around it. It hisses in pain and agony. And then basically you can actually see that the chemical seems to be sticking to it, and it seems to be in a slightly bad way. Its toughness, its armor has diminished, and it's no longer heavy. Still a hard thing to hurt. Kurt, you're up. You know what? What I'm realizing at this point is I need to give you all points of conviction because you've done so well, even though I said we weren't using conviction. I'm going to turn it on right now. Carry on.
So the spider's turned around and is attacking my truck. It's not running anymore.
I'd put it on a map, but think of it more as a chase. You're all moving along, as it were. It just sideswiped at you.
Okay.
I am awarding you all a point of conviction for your stubborn obstinacy to not let the military get hold of this thing, which I understand, given the 1950s conspiracy movies that we're playing here. So
I'm sort of fine with it.
So, Kurt, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna ram it with the truck.
Okie dokie. So you will target it and make an unskilled roll because you don't have the driving skill. But you could spend your point of conviction if you want to. Or you
What does that do?
And you can type /roll driving and it'll do it as well.
Oh, really? I did not know
The
that.
conviction you pick up and drop it in the chat like a penny,
As unskilled, but yeah.
Yeah.
and it adds a d6 to every single roll.
I want to use my conviction point.
Okay, so
Okay, just pick it up.
and drop it in the chat window. There you go. You are now using your point of conviction. So make your unskilled driving roll. As you can see, you got an extra D6. Oh, look at that! You got a hit with a raise on the spider. Now we're going to say you're all going at top speed because that makes things more dramatic and fun. Page 118 is collisions. Spider doesn't have heavy armor anymore, so that does collisions. Collisions if the vehicle out trial X the vehicle the passenger from XD6 X is number of vehicles suffer collision. Don't forget airbags and safety, but damage. Oh, what the hell? Okay, let's go with you've got conviction, so I'll add an extra D6 in. You are going full out. It's big. You're in a truck. We'll say you do that damage. You do 26 points of damage to the spider. You wound you smash into the spider with a truck. It howls out in pain, and you've basically it crashes. It smashes into a tree and it howls in pain as it pulls away with one of its eyes now skewered with a huge tree trunk that it's just snapped off. So it's lost one of its 7 eyes. The blinded one eye doesn't really apply to it. However, of course, you do need, with your conviction still going, you need to make another driving check to keep control of the vehicle because obviously you have hit something very big and physics it will cause you some problems. And you'll go out of control if you don't make your driving check. So you can spend a penny if you want to. Yeah, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Good stuff.
And I want to snap a picture just for
the sake of
scientific
goodness.
research.
Okay. Dr. Wilson, you're running as fast as you can to keep up with everything.
Paparazzi.
He's still with the refrigerator guy. Might still be with Mr. Refrigerator, mightn't he? I'm just going to say he successfully grabs onto the back of the pickup truck. Sounds good to me. Everyone's got it targeted. Okay, so this time we're going to attack the same truck, the one that just rammed it, and it misses. His injuries are catching up with it. Jeannie, you can actually hurt this spider now if you roll really well.
Yep, if I roll really well, and if I spend my conviction.
Go for it.
In juvie.
Hit with a raise. It's going to be 12-year-old kid kills the bad guy again, isn't it?
No, I'm gonna Benny it. You know me better than that.
I do indeed. Nick's looking very low on bennies. Everyone's got more bennies than Nick. I can't have that. There we go.
Oh, one more time. Damn, all them ones. Okay, it ain't gonna happen. I'm staying with the spider though.
Okie dokie.
She can run the same speed as a car, can she, Jeannie?
I'm treating it as you're all going as fast as the spider is, and the spider's injured, and I'm not. She's fleet of foot, and I don't care.
Yeah, okay, it's all right. Just thinking we could leave her behind, leave her behind as we trail ahead.
I'm going.
Maybe. What was that thing you said about sideswipe Jeannie, knock her off the road?
Okay, Nick, the technician, it's your turn.
See, there's two lines.
Cobbled together a sling and a lasso to catch her.
There's 2 lines in her notes about her background
that
I don't read. That I don't read to the group because it's not, information that's relevant, basically. But that explains why she's not going to stop.
Grabbed her. Good, I've got her. Unless she's going to try and bend
Unfortunately,
you out of it.
well, you haven't. The answer is you have entangled her.
Okay,
using-
good. I've
using-
grabbed her.
Okay, for purposes, I know I'm using the map, but I'm treating this as a chase now, so we're not worrying about running rolls or keeping up. It just makes my life easier. Jeannie, you're up. You've been
Okay.
suddenly picked up off the ground.
Yeah, what do I got to do to break free?
Your choice of strength or athletics. It's opposed against Nick. So you make your choice of strength or athletics roll. Getting an 11. And then Nick gets to try and hold on to you using his choice of strength or athletics. If he doesn't beat the 11, you break free because you're only entangled. Beats you, he keeps hold of you. She breaks free. At least you're not vulnerable. So how do you break? Give us a lovely description of your breaking free.
I poke him with my stick and he drops his grasp because that hurt.
Hope you right in the knee.
Yeah, so I bash him with my stick and I break free. And I need to spend my Benny to keep my conviction.
You want to keep your conviction going? Spend a Benny. You are keeping your conviction going. Dr. Winston is in the back of the truck because obviously, as he says, he's been without a fridge for a whole week, and I understand completely. Kurt, you're up.
I want to spend a Benny to keep the conviction going.
Be my guest. Just drop it in the chat.
Just drag
ram
it into
it.
you can just drag it into the conviction window.
I know, but dropping into the chat and me clicking, it's just as easy.
I'm gonna ram again.
Go for it. Find the collision rules.
That was a driving roll, right?
116. Yeah. It was a driving roll. So in your case, it was unskilled, wasn't it? Rolled way too much damage last time, but that's okay. I don't mind. Yeah. Okay. That caused something interesting. Okay, so you got a 6. The spider got a 5. You successfully hit it. So if you type /EMG, you have to put quite in front so it doesn't work. Okay, you're a large vehicle, 3d6. You got the raise, didn't get the raise 3d6, but yeah. So if you just type into chat that without the quote in front of it, that way that gets Fancy Grounds to roll the damage for you as you hit it with the. It's much nicer to let the players roll their own damage, and that's the easiest way to do ad hoc damage. 24 points of damage. Oh, Hardy kicks in. You know what? I don't care about Hardy anymore. Let's just up it. There we are. That's a wound. Vix hits. Oh, look at that! It's Vix crushed one of its legs. The spider's lost one of its legs.
Can I take some shots at it with my Derringer?
Yes, you can.
Is that Derringer a 38 special?
Are we in initiative order? Because I don't see.
Yeah, sorry if you're on the combat tracker. Yeah, you're on the 8 of diamonds.
Okay. Yeah. Firing this thing at it. How does conviction work again? What do I have to do?
If you want to spend your point of conviction, just drag that number 1 and drop it on the chat.
I am sorry I was missing.
It's okay. It's completely understandable.
Been out for like a week and a half. It's a necessity.
Of course. Understood.
Cold beer, man, of course.
Okay, I was.
Well, yeah, and you single dad. It's like, Jesus, man, I don't have any
That's a hit.
food to
Roll
cook
for
for my
damage.
kid. It's just,
Okay.
Unless you want to go for the Benny. You've only got 3 Bennies left, so.
Eventually, she'll be old enough to start cooking for you.
This Derringer might actually do some damage here. 24
Blam, blam,
points
blam,
of
blam, blam, blam,
damage.
blam.
Yeah,
Wound.
she has. The Derringer hits with a
The
with a
student
well-aimed,
with
Yep, with a well-aimed gunshot. It didn't roll on the injury table. That's a
Bob is
shame.
feeling slightly enamored by this youngster.
Do that? Yes, I can. Oh. I didn't do what I expected it to. That's annoying. Injury. What happens? We get. Oh, yeah. Basically, -1 agility as well to the spider. It's in a bad way, you know. It's lost 1 point of agility, as well as the fact it's lost a leg as well, and therefore slower.
How's that flamethrower going, Nick?
Yeah, well, I'm in the wrong car for the flamethrower. I'm on foot. I'm going to have to run over to the car and get in it.
You just
Right.
you could just dramatically jump across, surely. Bob, you're up.
One leg. I was going to be an adventurer, but I took a shrapnel to the knee.
Right, I'm still driving this thing. I guess driving check hasn't worked out too well. But let's see if I can ram it between the spinnerets and up the abdomen with ramming speed.
This is a family-friendly channel. Please don't say that again.
Spinnerets. Better than cigarettes. Driving check, is it? What does this conviction thing do? Can I add that to the doohickey?
Just drag the conviction like a Benny into chat, and it will add it.
Right. And then it'll add a D6 to all the rolls you make.
Okay, sweet.
Make your driving check.
Maximum speed.
Yeah,
I
like
forgot
that.
to target
See?
it. Fine.
How
so I
many
need to
ones
make-
can I roll?
Are you happy with an 8?
No, never.
Why?
Burner
You
Benny.
know you're driving. Wait, it's a post, don't forget.
Dude, I saw that one and I was like, oh, dude.
That's enough.
You passed.
You passed.
Okay.
So you didn't get the raise either. So you know how earlier on I said in the chat types /DMG space 4D6.
Yeah.
That's what you just need to do. Just type that into the chat /DMG space 4D6. That way it means it will explode if they need to. And if I drag the damage, it will apply it. But 12 isn't going to cut it. So you can either spend a Benny or basically hit the spider with no noticeable effect.
And not to tell you what to do, but you want to keep one Benny because at least because you can spend a Benny to keep your conviction going next round.
I apologize. I forgot you have a point of conviction going. Should have added. It doesn't make
So
any
it should have been
difference.
5d6.
Yeah, 14 or 14. I'd stay put. Well, you want to try one more time? In which case, if you do want to spend one more time, you actually get to type /5d6.
That looks better. 15, 19, 20.
20 is not enough, I'm afraid. This is a tough little
Unharmed.
dude.
This thing is tough as hell.
You need
Okay, Nick, you're
22.
up. Okay,
Gotcha.
Nick, you're up. Are you maintaining your conviction? Now's probably the time to do it if you're going to jump from one truck to the other truck and then fire a flamethrower.
Yes, I am. When someone said let the bennies fly, I'm sure I heard it on your channel.
Well, they might do at the end of the term when everyone needs them, but they haven't yet. So make your athletics roll.
I'm gonna flamethrower it. When it's flamethrower time.
Nick jumps from one truck to the other truck.
Ow. Yeah, taking his leg off and doing a little drum majorette routine in between the vehicles.
Hit with a raise from the flamethrower. Roll for damage.
I reckon we hit the damn things simultaneously next time.
Oh yeah.
2 wounds.
Benny appeared. Thanks very much.
Splat.
Did the little girl get burnt as well?
What is it you and hurting children today? This is.
I know, but what I should have done was I should have grabbed her and thrown her 20 feet back, and then got it. That's what I did do. I threw her back 20 feet. She landed on her feet perfectly unharmed, and then I set fire to the spider, and didn't have to kill Genie.
Snap,
Okay.
crackle, and pop.
Look, there's a cave. Do we want to go in the cave?
I say baby spiders, big mother spider. Pick one.
Could have detached the flamethrower from the car now.
Just goes running on ahead.
You're going running
I
on
didn't
ahead.
build this character, and those 2 lines in the notes I didn't write. Blame the GM.
Oh, there is a cave.
Looks like it was heading to it. John Dunn wrote this. I'm just curious. Righty ho. Oh heck.
Drum rolls, please.
Okay, so you're heading into the cave. Righty ho. Well, you didn't need the Air Force, so well done there. Genie basically runs straight off into the caves by the look of the sound of things.
Did somebody not muzzle that child?
No.
Doc, we're gonna have a chat about discipline when we get back to the hotel or the B&B.
I believe in letting my child roam free.
Yep, especially into lairs of giant spiders. I'm taking that flamethrower with me now. I've dismantled it off the back of the car.
She'll learn.
So there we go. Enable disable lighting. Okay. You are in a cave.
Do we see a big spider, as in bigger than the big one?
Right, let's give you some torches, shall we?
I've
I
got
want
a
to
torch.
I want to drive the pickup truck and aim it so the lights shine into the cave. And turn
Yeah,
on
if a
headlights.
100-foot spider can get in, the trucks can get in, right?
Well, you don't know for certain that the spider was trying to head for. But the spider wouldn't get in the cave. It looks like it was headed towards the cave, but it wouldn't have fitted in the cave.
Okay.
Okay. Okie dokie. Right, just before you head into the cave, can I? Obviously, the spider's outside. Well, actually, no. You would head into the cave because they're chasing the child, aren't you? That's the problem. Okay, so the entrance to the cave is quite narrow. The first 15 feet are extreme. Basically, after the first 15 feet, the cave gets extremely tight, and you don't try to think about the fact that as you squeeze through this area, that if you're attacked, you'll be quite vulnerable due to limited maneuverability. However, indeed, you look up. It's quite a low cave. It's basically no more than 15 feet height above you. Basically, as you move in, you get to the area you've got ahead of you, and it's quite. You've moved in a fair way now, and it's very and eerily quiet.
I'm gonna go ahead and ready my weapons and unjam the still jammed M1.
Oh yeah, repair check.
Repair check, you say?
No problem at all. I'm
Sweet.
going to completely accidentally forget to turn off your conviction until combat continues, and someone hasn't hacked onto the channel and said that, but I think you deserve them. You get me entertained. So there we go.
Hasn't hacked onto the channel. Where are you, hackers?
Hack the planet. Anybody got any torches? Oh, we do have torches, don't we? Can somebody get that damn kid?
No, there's
Watch
two
your
deadly
tongue.
lines. There's 2 deadly lines in her bio. She's enthusiastic in pursuing her studies, often at the expense of everything else around her. At times, her curiosity and
If she
impatience get the
dies,
best of her.
that's not our fault.
I play what I'm given.
Anyway, did I share? I did share the map with you guys, didn't I? There you go.
Hey, I didn't charge into a camp of bandits, firing my guns in the air.
Yes, because there aren't any bandits, and you don't have any guns.
But apart from that, you're 100% accurate. I love the assured sort of I ain't moving any further forwards of everyone at the moment. Of course I blame. We're not in initiative, by the way. This is just you can move freely, as it were.
Right.
Hey, somebody get some lights up here.
I'll be very happy when someone works out how to do a cone-shaped torch effect. So you can have proper.
Yeah, they'll add them in eventually.
Oh, you can have proper X-Files style games then with cone-shaped torches.
Nice.
I thought that was in as like a hooded lantern.
The name of a hooded lantern's in, but the effect isn't.
Torches at the moment just show at a radius around you. Right, can I have notice checks, please?
Oh, you've locked tokens. That's not good.
Well, I know you lot. You'll run off around half the map if I don't lock tokens.
Well, yeah. With notice
Yeah.
rolls like that.
Indeed. There appears to be the remains of some leathery eggs. Yeah, most of them appear to have been broken, but at least 4 or more appear to have hatched. But it looks like the rest have been eaten or destroyed.
Told you, baby
Poke
spiders.
those with a stick.
We gotta kill the baby spiders.
No, I've lost them.
Well, Jeannie grabs a
I
little
should
bit
be
of.
scared, but I'll have learned a lot this summer.
Actually, it really annoyed me. Actually, I forgot to mention how much. But well, actually, we could do all that in the post thingy. So,
What, him and he did something again?
no. It's something I'd forgotten about. What obviously apparently is in your equipment lists without it actually telling us. Okie dokie. What's the plan?
Well, Jeannie gets a couple of pieces of these eggshells and tucks them in a pocket to check out later.
Good to me.
She's poking around the nest.
I'm gonna get the flamethrower out.
Yeah, I'll support you there. Whoa.
Okay, Bob. It's basically as Nick steps forwards into the light, he suddenly illuminates 3 rather large, but nowhere near as big as the others. These spiders are Have a leg. His bodies are 6 feet long, and they have a leg span of more than 8 feet. Bob.
Right on. So here's a bit of an interesting question. I've got an M1 Garand which has a range of 24, 48, 96, so we're well within 24. I've also got a 1911A1 which is 12, 24, 48, so well within short range for both of those weapons. A 45 ACP versus a 30-06. Look, I feel like this is really close range for all of these, so I'm going to refer to the Colt, actually. I'm going to target... no, don't move. I'm going to target the middle one and open up with the Colt.
Go for it.
Let's do it. Skills, shooty. I'm good at shooting.
You don't do skill shooting, you do combat.
Combat, what?
You go to combat on your combat tab and use the gun on the combat tab.
Ah, of course. Okay. Mulligan that last roll.
The
Colt.
logic behind that is because you use your shooting skill as a test, but you use the combat attack as an attack, if that makes sense. But anyway, well, your 4 still hit, so I'm happy with that. But if you want to make it a hit with a raging spend a Benny.
Okay, I didn't raise, but I did go for the damage, and it
So
appears that
I'm going to retcon everything down, but that's fine. So the net effect is don't spend a Benny, you shoot the middle one, and you shake it. It seems...
Yeah.
Right. Do you wish to maintain your conviction? Expire it as soon as I end your turn, otherwise.
Let's not. If I don't, it goes back into my sort of usable bank.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
Oh, right, so I need to spend a Benny to maintain it.
If you want to maintain it, it's your choice.
It's good to maintain, isn't it? Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get gun happy. Is it worth it?
An extra D6 on every single roll is always worth it.
Yeah, let's go with that. So dropping a Benny to do that. Cool.
Okay. You maintain your conviction. Sarah,
Blam, 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 blam.
Sarah?
Yeah, okay, I can...
This was meant to be a lot more exploratory and sciencey, but...
okay, actually I'm within... Well, no. The range on this thing is 3, so... Yeah, I'm going to try to shoot one.
We could be sciencey, but we've got this little kid who just insists on running up the front and...
Forcing us to kill these beautiful spiders.
No, they're sort of ugly spiders.
This is the 1950s. She should be locked up.
And I'm like standing right next to her, and I like try to...
Naughty children need to be lobotomized.
Children should be seen and not heard.
Oh, you going for the spider? You going for this spider here? Or the shaken one?
And now you know why Doswell doesn't run games with children.
Yeah, actually, I didn't notice that. I'm looking at the other one, but yeah, I'm within 3 of that, so I'll shoot it. So I guess the
other one, sorry.
Whatever expired.
Yeah. Well, your conviction hasn't expired yet, so you're okay on that score. You still
target the shaken one.
Okay,
don't forget.
Yeah, you should target the shaken one because if you shake it again, it will die.
What you should do is move a bit closer and target.
Oh, I'm
the
within
shaken
4.
One.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So if you move to there, you can target the shaken one. You see.
Yeah.
Because all you need to do is shake that to wound it. Don't worry about. Obviously, I forgot to turn off ammunition. Basically, where's your invent combat tab? You just need to, because this game wasn't meant to use ammo, so I'll reload your ammo and work out where to turn it off now. So you should be okay if you take your shooting roll now. It's a con game, and it's meant to be a movie, and the good guys never have to reload in movies. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah, infinite rounds and like a 6-shooter.
And I've heard it.
I didn't mean to click that. Let's turn that off.
Benny.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, that's so unfortunate. You need a 10, it would appear.
Since these bennies are going to do me much better when the conviction's still running, I'll do it once more.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, there you
Hey,
go.
that should kill it.
In fact, actually,
It's when the Benny to keep the conviction going as well, isn't it?
ironically, ironically, with that last roll, you could have just killed. I think you'd have got one outright. But do you want to maintain your conviction? It will cost you one more of your bennies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where do I drag it to
Just-
conviction or?
That's it. Absolutely perfect. Exactly what you did there. Brilliant. Okay, Dr. Winston, you're up.
All righty. Dr. Winston, he sees all of stuff going on, and he's given up trying to save the spooters. And so he's going to spend his conviction. He's going to multi-action. He's going to use all of his academics to try and taunt and distract this thing first.
Not even going to comprehend how that works because it's a behavior.
Yeah,
you
baffle it
can't
with
work.
geometry.
Exactly. Okay.
But it works.
Distracted or vulnerable?
So he is vulnerable.
He's vulnerable. Okay, vulnerable he is. And also shaken.
Yes, he is.
Okay, that brings us to Kurt.
No, that was the first of my
Oh,
actions.
sorry, a multi-action. I apologize. I wasn't paying attention. Then you shoot it. I like it. I like the tactic. Makes no logical sense, but I'm past the point, but I don't mind as long as we're having fun. It's interesting. You can see the 4s on the dice, but none of the others. Have you noticed that? Incapacitated. Two down, 1 to go, Kurt.
Hey, did somebody advance my turn?
Yeah, but I'll put your conviction. Well, your conviction's still there, so don't worry about it. I've been advancing everyone's turn all game.
He's an evil GM.
Hemany, are you going to stand for that?
First I move.
Okay.
He's an evil GM.
He brags about being an evil GM. What the hell are you talking about?
That's not evil. That's just rude, man.
It's a con game. Get over it.
Where's my halt tool?
Oh, dear. Okay, that's a shot with the hunting rifle. I think this could be a very short final. Oh, it's shaken. Short final fight, unless you want to try re-rolling that. That's a wound.
That does it.
That does it indeed. Right. Okay.
Did we win?
You did. You did actually.
We
Blah, blah,
think
blah,
we've
blah,
won, and then we think we've won, and then a swarm of baby spiders, about 10,000 of them, comes out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you send it on. A big swarm of spiders. Come on, Kevin, kill us
Yeah.
all.
Kill
Kill us all, starting with the little horrible kid.
Anyway. So, yes.
Here's the swarm.
Obviously.
And Jeannie pipes up, I'm sure there was more than 3 hatched eggs back there.
Were there?
Bob racks the slide of his 1911 and aims it at
I'm-
Genie. Says, kid, if you move.
So yeah, obviously basically now with the cave. Obviously, you search the rest of the caves. You don't find any more evidence of eggs. It didn't mention it up until this point, which I found rather annoying because it did remind me that it would appear that just you do have Geiger counters on you in the in your science kits, and obviously with the body outside and the body in the caves, you can do some exploration and stuff. So lost the during the cutter. Yeah, okay. So basically, yeah, you get sweeping the giant spider with a Geiger counter reveals that the spider's body emitting low-level radiation, not enough to be dangerous, but it's clear that the monster was somehow exposed to radioactivity. Obviously, it's likely consuming some. Certainly, bombs. Okay, but yeah. Ongoing research carries on in the ongoing time goes on, and because normally spiders leave the remains of their prey behind after they consume the blood and organs. Despite extensive searches of the area over the next couple of weeks, no bones are discovered. Oh, there we go. So basically, after clearing out the caves, you don't find anything. The town is obviously thankful. By this point, the military's turned up. It sounds like the mayor called them in your absence, and obviously after explaining how you've stopped it all, everyone seems to be relieved. But the military obviously decides to take over, and they decide to bring in their own scientists, and everything goes on. But eventually, after many hours of questioning, you eventually allowed to head out of town and emerging as heroes. And as you drive away into the sunset, as we see the army moving through the forested area with flamethrowers burning everything as they go. And scientists carrying away specimens for further analysis, including the remains of the spider that Jeannie's carrying with her. We fade. The camera fades to black until it refocuses. A city sewer with a clutch of eggs bursting open and spiders climbing out. That is where we should leave it. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly didn't expect me to take the spider on, but it does show you can do it. So well done, guys.
Yeah,
you enjoyed that one.
I think you should have
very
killed
much
us all.
so.
Sorry?
I think you should have killed us all. I think you should have got a swarm of spiders and killed us all.
Well, the thing is, basically, by doing the way you did it, it's absolutely fine. But obviously, there is an option where is obviously if you've had it all too easy up to this point, you get back to town as they're pouring out the sewers and the whole town's attacked. But we didn't need that option.
So we got out of town and then the sewers overrun.
Indeed.
What's
But
the moral of the story?
Don't ever run games with 12-year-old kids again.
Don't have kids, yeah.
But that's fine. We'll be fine. So we shall leave. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Once I finish.
Yeah, it's very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Okay.
nice one.
Thank you.
And for those who've never played with me before, I know that the kid was annoying, but
Oh no, played beautifully.
I come to gaming from as well as having kids and grandkids and like 20 plus nieces and nephews, etc. I come to gaming from a theater background, so I always play the character. I don't care whether we win, lose, or draw. I play the character.
Yes, you're very good.
You are indeed. Right, we shall leave it there. Hope you enjoyed that one. But I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow for some Savage Spelljammer, and next month for our usual one-shot chaos, I suspect. See you then.